going to give you a quick demo of our CTN Network website, ctnnetwork.net. Join our community. It is free. You just type in ctnnetwork.net, and this is the homepage right here. And if you want to create an account, you would just click up here and create new account right here. Sign up with your email, or you can sign up with just clicking on Facebook or Google. So you can sign up with your Facebook account or your Gmail. So I'm already signed up, so I'm going to click in Gmail right here, and it's going to log me in. And as you can see, this is our homepage. Click on creators right here, and this shows you all the CTN family members that are content creators. Everybody is on here. If you want to go to one of their YouTube channels, for example, if you want to go to Crypto Talk Now, just click on channel, and it takes you right over to the YouTube channel for that particular creator. And you click on community. This is our community right here. We do have a forum, and this is a forum where you can post things, you can interact with one another. And there's also a blog right over here that we post our own content on. And if you click on CTN Studios, you can watch our live show and other content creators' live shows right through this CTN Studios. We do have advertisements for some of the content creators. There's the Crypto Smith, there's Waddy, the Crypto Hunter, and we also have live charts for the ISOs right in this box right here. We have a feature where you click on the heart if you want to donate to us. You can donate with Ethereum or Binance, BNB. And also, if you click on this button right here, we're going to have a call-in feature, which is already live. If you want to call us, just click on the green icon, the green phone icon, and click on call now. And during the show, between 9:15 and 10, when we announce it, when Max is on or when I'm on with Max, we will start accepting phone calls, and you guys can be live with the show. If you want to turn your video on, you can come on camera as well. So good stuff there. Now back onto the homepage. If you click on members, you can see all the people that are members here. All these people here, like Chaka just signed up, Gills33, Miguel. All these people here are members of our community. So you guys can sign up, and then you can chat with one another. So you can either click over here, message right here. So what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm just going to welcome him. I'll send him a quick message, and then I can click enter or just a little arrow. If you want to message somebody else, you can click on message, or you can go right over here into members chat and go ahead and message them and create a new chat if you want by clicking this little button right here. Now also, if you scroll down here, you can see some of the past videos that our content creators in our content creator family have created. You can go in here and watch some of the recorded videos. They're scrolling down here. Just choose one to watch. And that's it, guys. Thank you for watching this brief demo. Make sure you sign up so you can interact and be part of the community when we are not on the live show.
I muted again. I didn't even press the mute button. Yeah, that's so weird. I guess because I present it, it shuts off. It shuts my mic. Sorry about that. All right, start this over again. I'm so glad to be here tonight. I did fix the mute button. Hopefully that won't happen again. And with that said, glad to be here. We're going to talk obviously about this whole thing that happened with Jerome Powell addressing Congress. We're going to get into a little bit of the news. We have some particular updates on the ones we normally cover, but it should be a great show. So let's go ahead and kick it right into welcoming our wonderful audiences here tonight. Start off with Tim Shea, who says, "Hey, the mayor of crypto, the crypto commissioner. Glad to have you here, Mr. Tim Shea." Yes. Um, Also, we have Mr. Stevie, who is in the house. Thank you for being here, Stevie. I want to make a brief announcement real quick before I kick it into more comments because I meant to do this earlier. So basically, uh, you know, actually not yesterday, late this morning, so like really late, like last night, technically speaking, there was an announcement in regards to Nexera and KuCoin. And if you want the update, I'm not going to do it right here on the live show, but what I was going to say is you can definitely get it from here. All you got to do is go to the Crypto Talk Now's YouTube page, and there you go. There was an official announcement. Yes, I did receive my Nexera airdrop. It does show an actual token value in my main account, which is cool. I also did a video on the accumulation phase, bull run thesis, part 6. And of course, I also did a deep dive in regards to Vodafone, which is Quant's Overledger's integrated SIM cards. So 3 particular videos were released today. You might want to check them out when you get some spare time if you haven't done so already. All right, going to welcome some more people, but thank you for being here, Stevie. Stump Riders in the house. Thanks for being here. Says hey to Tim and Stevie. Welcome back, B. Glad to have B back. And then on top of that, we have everybody welcoming show, which is always a good thing. And Cash Cats is in the house. So that you commented on, I believe it was the Bull Run Thesis video, if I'm not mistaken. So thank you for that, Cash. Good to see Sobo in the house. Shout out to you again. Totally flipped the script, not in a bad way, right? For yesterday's show, I thought it was a great show. We had, I checked the stats. We had 72 people concurrently watching at the same time, which is really cool. Right now, we currently have about 14. There might be some other shows going on as we speak and so on. Or maybe people just don't want to hear what's going on with Mr. Powell and the crypto market and so on because they just don't want to hear about it, and that's fair enough too. Anyway, we got, I fixed that. So let's see here. I want to welcome Ricky Tifi. Welcome, Ricky. Let me just double check some settings. Yeah, we're good. And let's see here. Boomer effing Sooner. Boomer effing Sooner. Hello, Boomer. Glad to have you here. Hello and guten Tag, Liechtenstein Exchange. And Jesme is in the house to bring great honor. All right. And then on top of that, everyone's welcome, Magic Power. Yes, thank you very much, Mr. Cash Cats, either this way or this way. I don't know. All right, let's go ahead and get into it. Please smash that like if you haven't done so already. And let's see here. So we're going to start it off, believe it or not, with some news from the Daily Hodl. So here we go. And I'm sure, maybe some of you guys have seen this. Maybe you haven't had time. Maybe you've been at work all day or, you didn't catch up on it. But today it says Fed triggers Bitcoin and crypto flash crash as Jerome Powell declares rates could rise higher than expected, right? And I think this morning, shout out to Daniel Gayton, he pointed that he felt that this was going to happen. And it did. So states comments from U.S. Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell sent global markets and Bitcoin into a free fall on Tuesday. But so far, BTC has bounced back. We'll get a little bit more into that as well. But anyway, In a U.S. Senate Banking, Housing, and Urban Affairs Committee hearing, Chairman Powell said recent stats on inflation suggest the Fed may ultimately have to raise interest rates higher than anticipated. We have a short clip in regards to that. We'll get into that in a bit. Here's his particular quote. He says the latest economic data have come in stronger than expected, which suggests that the ultimate level of interest rates is likely to be higher than previously anticipated. Great. It's kind of like, as the saying goes, keep singing that song, playing that violin, whatever you want to call it. It says if the totality of the data were to indicate that faster tightening is warranted, we would be prepared to increase the pace of rate hikes. Well, no, Sherlock, right? I mean, let's just be honest about it. All right. Powell's comments triggered a Bitcoin flash crash, with the top cryptocurrency dropping from 22,341, give or take some change, to a low of 21,927 in a span of just 15 minutes. Whether we like it or not, I guess that is significant. It's going to affect the overall market. Of course, Bitcoin then jumped back to the 22K mark and is trading at 22,309 at the time of this particular publishing. We'll get into what the market's actually currently doing here in a bit. In fact, I'll try to bring up that page real quick. I did have that primed, locked, and ready to go. We'll just take a moment to reflect on that. So as we see right here, the overall crypto market's at 1.02 trillion. We did have a slight pullback. This actually, I think I saw it at 1.01. Right. So I think that was today's low. Maybe it touched, 1.0. I don't know, but that's what I saw. Here's where Bitcoin's currently at. So there you have it. Let's jump back actually to that particular article and, get more back into it. It says, Bitcoin's correlation with stocks has weakened in recent weeks, with Bitcoin outperforming the S&P 500 on its recent run-up to a high of 24,960, which was pretty cool. On top of that, last week that correlation appeared to shift in the other direction. Some of us saw that. Some of us took advantage of some of the particular dips. I wish I would have took advantage of the Cypherian one that happened today. I don't know if you guys saw it. Was it in the threes? My goodness. Anyway, stocks rose while Bitcoin dropped below 23K, with the digital asset friendly bank Silvergate revealing it's taking steps to assess its ability to stay in business after the collapse of crypto exchange FTX. So we're going to get more into some of our particular coverage in regards to this. Give me just a second to adjust this camera. Be right back. All right, we're good. So I see more people join. Thank you so much for joining us here tonight. Please smash that like button if you haven't done so already. In fact, we're going to go ahead and just welcome a few more people that came in. So let's go ahead and do that before we show you that particular clip from Mr. Powell. So give me a second. And let's see. Coochie Boy's in the house. Good to see you, Mr. Coochie Boy. Welcome. And Miguel's in the house. Miguel, I want to state this, all right? So hopefully a couple days ago, you saw this right here. Because I don't know if you were at yesterday's show, and that's okay if you weren't. But I'm going to show you. Whether you like it or not, Miguel. No, I'm kidding. So again, a reminder of the 3 videos that were released today. Deep dive for quant, the accumulation phase, bull run thesis part 6. And then, of course, the Nexera, aka ALBTV2 video update, KuCoin official announcement. Now, in regards to Miguel, real quick. So for those who are like, Max is never going to do any, coverage about some of these things, I did. So there's the one, Miguel, about Affinity, a brief intro. And then somebody else wanted me to cover LTX, of course, so I chopped it up, put it in that. And so we'll get into some of these other ones as well. And basically for tonight, if I'm not mistaken, we're going to get into some of the other ones. Give me just a second, because I think, if anything, it's in my research notes. Yeah, it is. So give me a second. Crypto research notes. So the next one on our particular brief intro, shout out to Brian Dowie, will be Velo. So we'll do that tonight just briefly together. If you're aware of Velo, cool. If you're not, that's fine as well. But I'll get that one primed and ready to go here later into the show. All right. So I'm just going to welcome a few more people. But anyway, thank you, Miguel. Rayan's back. He says to all his friends, he loves and enjoys the show with tea or a smoothie. Oh, okay, cool. Well, thank you, Mr. Rayan. Here's some of my juice. All right. All right. Crypto Talk Now's Larry says smash that like button or hit the like button for me. Thank you very much. And yes, Cypherium. I got into that. I think I don't know, maybe slightly below 5 cents or something. May DCA into it again. We'll see. All right. I also want to welcome Mentalect. Hello, is it Mentalect we're looking for? Lionel Richie. And let's go further down. Let's welcome a few more people. I think we welcomed everybody. Thank you very much. Yeah, you're very welcome. All right. And it says, get ready for the crash in April, ladies and gentlemen. Yes. All right. Let's highlight that. Let's kick it back into it. So let's get back into this particular topic in regards to, Chairman Powell, right? And then, of course, we'll get into some of the other news. But yes, anyway, here it is. And it's this particular clip. Like it says, Federal Chairman Jerome Powell says the U.S. is heading towards a big problem with our economy. Yeah, as I would say, no Sherlock, right? So the problem is that we are on a path where the debt is growing substantially faster than the economy, and that, by definition, in the long run, is unsustainable. Well, yes. Do we have to have you come out and tell us that? I guess so. All right, we're going to play this. This is actually from the C-SPAN coverage, and we'll come back in about roughly a minute and 20 seconds. Here we go.
This is not about what the Fed has done. This is what about the Congress has done that you have to factor in to your decisions. Do you think about the costs of borrowing for the United States itself?
No, we do not, and we're not going to. In other words, that would be fiscal dominance. If we were, constrained in our monetary policy by the budgetary situation of the United States, and we're not. We're clearly not. The path we're on is not sustainable, but the level of debt that we have is not unsustainable. Is sustainable. Put it that way. So we don't think about interest costs when we make monetary policy. We think about maximum employment and price stability.
It's your opinion that the level of debt we have is sustainable?
Yes, I mean, we could clearly we have the largest economy in the world. We can service this debt. That's not the problem. The problem is that we're on a path where the debt is growing substantially faster than the economy, and that's kind of by definition in the long run unsustainable. And the way countries have gotten or fixed that is with longer term programs that have bipartisan support and that address the actual problem in the budget. That's really the formula.
So I just want to briefly say, he mentions about, he isn't Powell, we can service this debt. That's not the problem. Now, okay, if it's not the problem, then maybe the solution would be, maybe you know where I'm going with this, Ripple's, on-demand liquidity to take on that particular debt. Oh man, so many things are coming up here soon, right? Now, of course, some people say, no, Max, that's not what he's saying. But in reality, we could very well be getting to that moment, at least the start of it. Why not? All right. I will read this. Rayan states, Max, what about Filecoin? It has potential. This coin, yes, it absolutely has potential. I consistently monitor it. I'm monitoring closely that one. Polygon and Stratos are actually my 3 for quick swing trade / as I would say, like a power swap, right? To go all in, not all in on as far as like everything I own, but I mean a good position. I will bring that up real quick. So, believe it or not, it's one of the new picks for Investor Place, right? Is Filecoin. I will pull that up real quick. Let me just share that real quick. So here's straight from CMC. I believe it's in the top 30 for Filecoin. We have talked about Filecoin quite a few times. I think we even did a brief intro. We didn't chop it up and put on record or anything, but I may do more of a deeper dive at some point. Anyway, so here it is, ranked number 27. For me personally, if this was to pull back into like, under 5, I think I'm like maybe all in. I don't know. Or a good position. I've been thinking about this for a long while. I've been thinking about it hard. So, I mean, this was a great, I should say it still is a great swing trade. I'm not talking about like, daily swing trades, but literally like maybe bi-weekly, at least monthly, right? So, check this out on a 7-day chart, So, some things obviously happen, but even if you went into like on the 2nd, it's just a nice, it's nothing like super significant on the week, but I mean, it's not bad, especially if you have like bots or, buy and sell orders, right? It's not too shabby. Even on the 1 month, this is what I'm talking about. This is what's really appealing to me. This is where I'm like monitoring this. So like if it pulled again, like I literally just mentioned this without even looking at it again. If it pulls back below the $5 mark, I don't know if it's just everything into it. Like when I say everything, I mean, I don't know, at least like 5K, maybe 8. I don't know, maybe 9. I don't know, but at least I put like 5K into this. Because what's going to happen is I do what is referred to as a power swap. So it goes back up to like, for instance, I don't know about going up to 933, but I would set my goal, right? So if I came in at like under 5, my goal might be, like 750, maybe 8. I don't know. And then I just, simply, I don't sell it. I swap it, to some of the maybe USDT. And then I basically, buy more like XRP, XDC, things like that. Maybe some quant, you never know. But that's the way I would go about it. I've been saying this for a while now, so I've been pretty consistent. In regards to the last 3 months, I mean, this was down, even touched below $3 at one point. So, I mean, it's been kind of an up and down thing, but it's just a nice swing trade. And then even if you're not wanting to do swing trade, how about this for size, right? So this is like the standout one for, like file storage, data storage, if you will. I mean, it's definitely up there. I understand that there's other ones like we talked about Flux. Shout out to Tim Shea. There's some others, right? Obviously, you want to talk about data. I mean, it's a different form, right? Jasmine is but these all bring their different element, if you will. But on the surface, when it comes to Filecoin, I mean, look at it. I mean, the first standout, like really standout, all-time highs, October 15th, 2020. Then like big time, right? Like, look at this. March, roughly, what was that? March, end of March, early April 2021. I mean, over $176, $180, something like that. But anyway, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, even in 2022, April 2020, I mean, again, all this is before, of course, the collapse of, Terra Luna, and then crypto winter getting real hardcore. But I don't know. This is pretty low for this right now. And if you're a firm believer that, the market's going to take a turn, as I would say, like, we're in this accumulation phase, no, I would never tell anybody to sleep on Filecoin. I'm not. I'm closely monitoring this. Stratos is definitely another one. Like for Stratos, I'm telling you guys flat out, if this dips back down to 42 cents, I will be all in, because I mean, there's just so much consistent price fluctuation with this particular one. I mean, look at this. You know what I mean? I mean, like this right now, 49 cents, and then like a few days later, it don't seem like much, right? But that jump from 42 cents to 57. Then look at that. Like, was that a week later? 73 dips down a little bit. Of course, as we know, on February 20th, this went to 83 cents. But you get what I'm saying? It's a decent swing trade. So, if you're trying to raise capital quickly, because you don't want to dump on some of the ones that you believe in, because you want to, put them in other things that you also believe in, I guess you could say. I don't know. We all have what we got to do. I'm not giving you guys financial advice or anything. I'm just saying these are the ones that, these three I'm monitoring very closely. I guess Polygon's right on the list. Yeah, Polygon's another one I'm monitoring very, very closely, because what's going to happen at the end of this month. I did a particular recorded video about it. But anyway, yeah, man, I'm telling you flat out, Filecoin. I mean, if it goes below 5, you may want to consider making a position. Not financial advice. All right. Open Mind says, hello, everybody. Good to have you. Glad that you have an open mind. Open mind. Yes, no pun intended. I want to welcome Matt Crypto Holmes, 777. Says, hello, everybody. Thanks for being here. And let me double check the other screen. Make sure that nothing else came in. Nothing else did. That's okay. I did see XXI Gaming in the house. Hopefully you heard what I said about Stratos. It is one of those ones I've been really looking at closely. All right. So let's go further down. We'll get back more into the news, of course. All right. She is one hot mama. Oh, I'm missing somebody. All right. Well, that's nice. All right. Brian now he's in the house. What's up, Brian? Glad to have you here. I got an announcement for you, Brian. So later on into the show, we're going to take a quick intro, not a deep dive, but a quick intro into specifically Velo, which is one of the ones you wanted to look into. All right. And if anybody, of course, introduced some other one and so on, we'll get into some of those. But that's my new part of the format. I'm not ruining the format, obviously. I'm just adding that as intros, and then depending on the reaction from their intros and so on, maybe I continuously do updates. It just depends. I mean, right now we cover about 10 different ones, and it can be challenging to keep up with all that. So, but it's all right. All right, let's go further down and welcome a few more people. I'm gonna read this. I welcome you. Crypto Holmes 777. He says he loves Stratos, has a big time potential. I believe so as well. And that's another one, just like Filecoin, right? Nice for the swing trades, nice for the long term, right? So that's why I'm literally throwing into that mix of those three that I'm looking at closely. Mr. J Crypto says he believes Arweave is way better than Filecoin. I think that's also part of my research list. Let me double check that. Let's see here. It is not. I'll add that one to the list because why not? Arweave. All right. Thank you. And let's go further down. But yeah, glad to have Mr. J Crypto here as well. Magic Power says Filecoin is huge. It will perform very good in the coming bull run. Yeah, it's proven itself to do that. Up Dell is in the house. He said, hello, Max. Hello, Mr. Dell. Glad to have you here. And Cash agrees that expect triple digits first half of 2025. Yeah, not too shabby. All right, I will read this because we did talk about Flux for a brief moment. So Tim Shea says Flux is the cheapest, safest, most efficient for storage. That's definitely one that we did notice. Maybe we could pull up that comparison again. Let me see. Because that was a very appealing thing that you shared with us a while back in regards to Flux. Let me see. I don't know if I could just pick that up real quick, but it was a nice comparison with was it I think it was like Amazon, and you also had even Google, right? It was like just like really a night and day difference. Hold on a second. Amazon and Google. I can't pull that up for some reason. That's all right. Well, if somebody pulls it up for me, I'll definitely share it. Magic Power says, Cash, I think it will reach more than 1,000 in the next bull run. He buys 2 tossing coins at 3. All right. Tim Shea says Filecoin is well known, so that helps. Yes. Who is swinging Bone? I may do that. I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence about that as well too. All right. And Tim Shea says, I thought you preferred ALI for swing trading. That's just another one. I'm just talking about like ones in which I could see even that much more significant margins. But yes, I definitely would have to throw that one into the mix. You're right. All right, XXI Gaming's in the house. Glad to have you here, man. We were, of course, talking about Stratos, which is one of the ones that you introduced to us. All right. Crypto Home says he's got more bone with the drop below $1.40 today. Cool. XXI says, facts, bro. Heard it. Thanks for covering Stratos. Yeah, you're welcome. Thanks for introducing it. Salamander is in the house. Welcome, Salamander. We'll get back in the news here in a bit. I'm just glad to have you guys here. And let's see here. Tim Shea says, nice homes bone will be huge. And how about this? Mr. J Crypto Max, have you looked into Everscale? I don't think so. I have Evergrow, but I don't have Everscale. All right. I just basically bought Evergrow I'll be honest, that one was just a gamble. You know, if it works out eventually after a few years, then it does. If it doesn't, I'm not going to, lose my head over it. That one, I think I put like $100 into it or something like that. I don't remember. Just enough to get like a decent bag at the time. But it's one of those things that's kind of like, I'm not going to continuously follow the updates on it or anything. It's just, I'm not even worried about it. It's on my Trust wallet though. So somebody earlier today, because I have the Nexera video, they're like, oh, all your crypto is, you buy everything off of KuCoin. No, I don't have all my stuff in one place. But anyway, but yeah, I have my Evergrow over there. I could have moved it. It's Evergrow. I don't really care. Crypto Home 777 Shibarium Beta is supposed to release this week. I keep hearing that. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. Yeah, isn't it? That's a good question. All right, Mr. Michael Montclair says, hey, all, just bought another 1,000 XRP soon. You updated your avatar. Let's see here. Is this the lovely Claire? Or not Claire. I forgot the lady's name. Your fiance. I guess that's a picture of fiance. Well, you're a very proud person, my friend. Congratulations to you. But yes, you just bought another 1,000 XRP. Hold on, just bought another 1,000 XRP soon. Impressive. Very awesome. That's good to hear. Crypto McDizzle for Shizzle. I didn't see you yesterday. Man, you missed a great show yesterday. Unless you were watching or listening or something like that, driving. Me and Crypto Smith, Sean, we had 72 concurrents yesterday, man. It was a great show. We were talking about, was it Crypto Bellwether's coverage about how he feels as though we were lied to in regards to ISO 222. And of course, there's a lot of, I wouldn't even say it was mixed. I would say the whopping majority of people just felt as though like, okay, that's his opinion. That's not the case, but it was nice to hear a different perspective. And no, I did not sell my positions based off of what he mentioned, but it is nice to see somebody. Some people say, that's just all FUD, but it's nice to be, keep things in check, if you will. Try to, like he said, research the competition. Anyway, that was yesterday's show. You can watch part of it if you want. If you don't, that's fine too. All right, let's go further down. We got Crypto Holmes, who says, I am swinging half and holding the other half for potential moonshot. Very cool. Mr. J Crypto says, Evergrow is not the same as Everscale. Don't sleep on this one. Okay. Well, I know this much. All right. I'm sure it is a good one. Everscale. Somebody said it the other day. I think it was Crypto. Well, who was it? Wendy O. She mentioned that to assume, and I'm not downplaying anybody's crypto, right? I mean, obviously, you know a lot more about Everscale and some of these other ones Armweave than I do. But to assume that all of these are going to do very, very well is one thing, and maybe some of them will compared to just some garbage token projects. But my thing is, I think I only have like 2 more I'm looking to get into. So I still need to get into Rio. Still need to get to LCX. I failed the KYC for LCX, which was stupid. They asked me to like re-upload my ID or whatever. But anyway, and then after that, I'm just looking to stack more of what I have because I'm totally cool with that. And I've done that a little bit recently with Jasmine. I need to get more XTC. I need to get more XLM, things like that. I obviously need to get more quant. We had this conversation the other day. We all want more of what we have. All right. Big Dave is in the house. He says, hello, everyone. Glad to have you here, Mr. Dave. And let's see here. David Davis says, what about Caspa? Looks super bullish. I think yesterday we were talking about that briefly, or somebody was talking about in the comments. Michael Montclair says, yeah, that's my Zara on my profile pic. Well, awesome, man. You have a very beautiful, I think you said fiance. So congratulations to you. All right, let's see here. Mr. J Crypto. Hey Max, do you have any excellent coin like Scooply or Stronghold? Oh, that's no, I don't have Stronghold. I know it's also part of the QFS. I never heard of Scooply. I have to look more into that. But no, I don't have any of those. I just have the native one of Stellar Limits, obviously. Big Dave says, Max, I'm still buying Flow like Filecoin. Yeah, I remember you mentioned that. I think it was you, and we did a brief intro into Flow, and I was pretty impressed. I should have chopped that one up too. Anyway, LCX is on Coinbase, yes, and KYC problems with Coinbase, and I did twice, and it says it's pending their approval, and it's really annoying the crap out of me right now. Anyway, and then I thought, what about what Kuchu Boy mentioned a while back? Maybe I could do like Pancake Swap, like Larry did with XRP. No, I can't do that with that particular one. So it's kind of irritating at this point. I don't know. I might have to just do something which maybe I buy like part of the pairing, send it on over there. Maybe that's the trick I got to do. I don't know. I'll figure it out. I'm not really sweating it, but thanks, guys. You're actually mining Caspa. Okay, cool. Let me add that one to the particular list as well. Man, that thing keeps growing and growing. Eventually, I'll have to just be like, no, sorry, guys, because this can grow to 20,000, 22,000 cryptos, and I just won't be able to cover them all. All right, let's see here. Miguel says, I'm waiting to get more Jasmine, Gala, Cypherium when the crash happens. Cypherium right now, as we speak, is looking very, very attractive for an entry point or a DCA. Here's why. Let me present that right now. So Cypherium, as we speak, is slightly under 4 cents. You keep in mind, I came in at the 5 cent range, and I thought that was pretty decent. So, man, that's not too shabby at that particular range. So I just want to mention that. There's always, here's the thing, right? It's not really trying to make FUD. It's just trying to be real. On the day chart, I don't like how this graph looks. I just want to throw that out there. I don't like seeing bases like this right here, straight horizontal lines. I don't like seeing that stuff. I've never been a fan of that. To me, that's where a dev has manipulation, messing around with liquidity and things like that. I want to throw that out there. Maybe some people could say that is flooding it. Whatever, I don't care. My thing is that's just being real. I'll be real with that about any project. I don't like seeing that. I like to see a graph look more natural, because this is a high quality crypto project, right? This is not some, this is not like the Phantom project or whatever, right? Like let's just go around and let's try to move liquidity around or whatever, but straight horizontal lines. And anyway, all right. Michael Montclair, no, but she's learning. Oh, cool. All right. Let me see here. Let's state this. Everyone, please don't forget to hit that like button. Yeah, thank you very much. What does everyone think about Betsinor Tau? Don't know about that. Quant won't go lower than 121. It could. If it does, not too bad. Good point, brother. Yep, no problem. Michael, cryptos are wife. Oh, I mean life change. Yeah. All right, we're going to kick it back into the news. Excuse me. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and do it right now. So we did talk briefly, of course, about the whole thing with Mr. Powell and the Fed and so on. Yesterday, I believe somebody mentioned in the comments in regards to this thing called Icebreaker with Quant. So we're going to jump into that here briefly. And shout out to the one and only Greg Lunt. It says, breaking, the Bank for International Settlements has completed Project Icebreaker, which is a cross-border, cross-DLT test for retail CBDCs. Now, granted, okay, for those who want proof and so on, Greg is stating that he's 95% sure the project was built using Quant and Overledger. Again, part of any research is to, connect the dots, if you will. But he does outline 7 particular reasons why that is. Hold on a second. Let me see. Oh, it's a photo. Okay, cool. Maybe that it is in regards to Flux. But anyway, yes. So he's pretty sure 95% of the projects use Quant and Overledger, or I should say this project. Here's the 7 reasons why. This is a particular thread. We will jump into this. So let's go ahead and do that. And this comes, of course, originally from the Bank of International Settlements. And check this out, right? So you have this original statement. It says, with Icebreaker's hub and spoke model, CBDCs can be used for cross-border payments. Keep in mind, this is on March 6th. So was that like literally yesterday, right? So they could be used for cross-border payments without leaving their own systems. The foreign transfer is broken down into 2 domestic payments facilitated by a foreign exchange provider active in both ends. And this quote comes from Cecilia Skingsley, who is the head of the Bank of International Settlements Innovation Hub. And she states, quote, Project Icebreaker is unique in its proposition. It first allows central banks to have almost full autonomy in designing a domestic retail CBDC. Then it provides a model for the same CBDC to be used in international payments. One of our community members, Frankie, responded, good stuff. Any Quant link here? Of course, nobody has, the direct link, but here's some more particular examples that Greg had. We're going to get into that. I'm going to highlight this. It says, number 1, it used a hub and spoke model just like Quant. We're going to highlight that. So look what it says right here, and this is really great research from Greg. So again, shout out to him. Follow him. I mean, he's killing it with the Quant coverage. So here's the highlights, right? It says Project Icebreaker explored a hub and spoke solution interlinking domestic systems through a technical platform that facilitates communication between RCBDC systems. Think about it. What's the key takeaway? Technical platform. That platform, in my opinion, is Overledger, right? So it says each RCBDC system needs only to integrate with one external system, the Icebreaker hub, rather than integrating with every other individual CBDC system. The advantage of this model is that it can scale. Hear me out. I know a lot of people can say scale, but again, connecting the dots, right? The technical platform, Overledger. Scaling, who is able to scale like nobody's business? Quant, Overledger. So anyway, scale up to support many participating systems without increasing the complexity of the design. Perfect example of that, 3 lines of code. Another perfect example of that, blockchain agnostic, right? And then another perfect example of that is interoperability across the board. Let's get a little bit more into this. So here's Gilbert Verdier. This guy, ran a person named Mario. It says, I meant from a topology perspective. And Gilbert responds, center, hub, and spoke. And then on top of that, let's see here. We'll go further down. Here's point number 2 of the 7. And don't worry, we'll get back in the comments too. But it says it used standardized APIs for interoperability, just like Quant. And of course, the highlight, the communication via the Icebreaker hub is enabled by APIs, which let it interoperate in a standardized way with each POC and RCBDC system. When we get further into this particular outline, there's a little bit more here, and it gets better and better and better. I already reviewed this a while back, actually yesterday. It says it used hashed time lock contracts, which is HTLC, just like Quant. That's the key takeaway here, in my opinion, which pounds it home that it is quant. Blow this up. The icebreaker model makes a minimal set of technical requirements about the RCBDC systems that connect to it, namely that, and here's a few bullet points, each must be a functioning payment system and operate in real time or near real time, ideally 24/7, 365 days a year, right? No kidding. Each can implement and support the use of HTLC. Very, very crucial. On top of that, number 4, 3 more to go. It used gateways for cross-network communication, just like Quant. It has to be Quant, because look at the multiple gateways Quant definitely already has. When we go into this further, each domestic RCBDC system can connect to the hub in 2 ways, each having different effects, some of which are out of the project scope. But look what it says on the bottom. Key highlight. The second is the domestic RCBDC system provides a gateway to serve as a single communication channel between the domestic RCBDC system and the hub. All right, a little bit more. Remember yesterday, if you were watching, we were talking about the whole thing with JP Morgan and Quorum, right? So how about this? It connects Quorum, BESU, and Corda just like Quant. The project focused on core features only, including the technical solution for the Icebreaker Hub, the integration of the 3 POC RCBDC systems of Israel, which is through Ethereum, Quorum, Norway, Hyperledger, BESU, and even Sweden with what? Corda. And the technical validation of a limited set of key use cases together with related policy considerations. If you're still not convinced, how about this? One of the participants, the Swedish central bank, uses Oracle for their mission-critical infrastructure and is likely already using Overledger. How can that be? It's like what you see right here. This is originally printed from the Oracle site. It states the RIX Bank establishes total control of license usage with what? Overledger. Oracle. Sorry. Look at the highlight. We use Oracle products for our mission critical systems almost exclusively. We already drew that connection in the past. On top of that, when we go over here, this particular person asked Go Reverdian, are we in some way involved with the e-krona? Very good question. His response, we've had meetings with Oracle regarding the Swedish central bank. Aha. That's not part of the 5 we already are talking to. All right. And the last and final one, the icing on the cake. Number 7, we've made countless connections between Quant and the Bank of International Settlements in the past. Yes, we have. I even done it in countless deep dives. It seems like Overledger is their de facto solution for all cross-border CBDC testing. Now, I will state this. I'm on board for the most part with Greg Lund's statement. However, when it comes to a de facto solution for all cross-border CBDC testing, don't quite 100% am on board on that. Why? You have to consider what? You have to consider Cypherium, because we understand where a lot of people feel as though there is that particular connection with the Bank of International Settlements. And if anything, they have used the term the de facto solution. So I do want to throw that into the mix. But here it is. And it says, forwarded from Go Reverdian, we're close to those policymakers, including the Bank of International Settlements. And I get that. But I just also want to throw in, I don't think it's 100% like what you see. You have to throw in Cypherium. And then on top of that, look at this. They're looking for both domestic and cross-border. We've covered both use cases and capabilities and have been talking to the central banks. They have, BIS and policymakers. We are helping shape the landscape for CBDCs. And yes, they totally are. You know, teaming up with MIT, teaming up with the New York Fed, teaming up not just with, you know, what they got going on with the Digital Pound Foundation, but, you know, having talks with, or, you know, working with the Prime Minister of the UK dating back to, was it over 10 years ago, with some of the background that they have, Gilbert Verdian, the Prime Minister of the UK. So all those connections are definitely there. So anyway, I definitely wanted to point that out. I did. Let me know what you guys think. Do you think this is a big deal, or if anything, you just think this is a positive catalyst that makes some significant news? Glad to bring it to you guys. Again, please follow Greg Lunt if you have a Twitter account. Great content creator, currently at close to 18,000 followers, and he just really does a great job. He also lives in the Phoenix area, like myself. Anyway, got to kick it back into the comments. Thanks for being here tonight. Please smash that like button if you haven't done so already. Mr. J Crypto says he did hear that BitDAO has one Elon hidden investors, a hidden gem. Interesting. All right, let me see what's going on the other page just real quick. We're doing good. Mr. J Crypto, David, yes, 3090 graphic. I have 3. Tim Shea says, I DM'd you the Flux comparison. I thought that's what that was. So let me go ahead and pull that up real quick. All right, let's pull that up. And let's see here. Share screen. There we go. Before I pull that up, I am going to share Mr. Crypto Smith. It says, huge news for Ripple XRP. Judge drops so-called expert for the SEC. He tags me, Larry, a lot of you other guys. I go ahead and smash the like in regards to that and retweet that. And also, Boomer, thanks so much, man. It says, yo, Elon Musk, Vitalik Buterin, come join the fun. Appreciate that, man. Thank you so much, Mr. Boomer. All right. So here's the one in regards to Flux. Shout out to Tim Shea. Let me see if I could just copy the image address. Hold on a second. Let me pull up a different way and blow this up a little bit. It's not going to let me do it that way. That's fine. All right. There we go. So, yeah, I mean, the other one we had was a little bit more different, where it's like on this, horizontally speaking. That's fine. It says start saving now. Estimate the cost of your application on different cloud providers. For instance, you have 2 virtual CPUs, 4 virtual CPUs, or 8. It says Flux, compared to the others. Look at this, right? And this includes the bandwidth, just like the other ones. $7.43 for the same services that Google Cloud offers for $176.76. My God. Even Amazon Web Services, right? $79.92. And even Azure. I mean, we talk about the whole thing, like with businesses, why would they choose Ethereum to build on over XDC, right? XDC is significantly faster, better blockchain, right? Faster, more efficient, less expensive, right? And here's another example with Flux. If you know about these things, and apparently some of us do, why in the world would you want to spend that big chunk of change on these other ones? I just don't see it. And once more and more people, I guess, know about that, it's a game changer. And if I'm not mistaken, it's like what, 70 something cents? Well, I have to double check that. Yeah, we will. Let's pull that up real quick. So CoinMarketCap says Flux is what? It dropped below 70 cents. So it's at 66.86. Currently ranked 158. Just out of curiosity, we're wondering about the all-time highs. It did hit over $3 back roughly 13 months ago. So pretty interesting. Shout out to Tim Shea. All right. Yeah, Investor Place also talks about, Hive quite a bit as well. Anyway, Miguel says the crash is going to bring the opportunity of a lifetime. Yes, very good point. And if anything, we might be running out of time. I've said that for a while. But anyway, let's see here. Miguel also states he personally thinks that HBAR is identical to Quant. I would have to disagree with you on that, but that's just where we agree to disagree, but that's okay. Hashgraph in itself is not a blockchain. Technically, that's a different type of technology. And Quant, with the overledger, you're talking about operating system versus a totally different consensus mechanism. But that's okay. All right, Mr. J Crypto, Miguel, what do you think about Energy Web token? that is one I'm looking to get eventually in. I do believe in that. I have researched it a little bit, not to the point where it's like a super deep dive, but I am fully convinced that is one that you couldn't go wrong with your portfolio. Mr. J Crypto says he heard that Flare is a smart oracle, something amazing, cool. Kushi Boy says Brazil has launched its experimental CBDC. Yep, we did report that on a recorded video in regards to the Stellar connection. Mr. Wayne size in the house. He's like, so Cal enjoying, sir. Sup, dude? Good to have you here, Mr. Wayne side. All right. Let's kick it back into the news real quick. We have some more coverage for you tonight. Smash that like if you haven't done so. Max, I'm getting tired of you saying it. Well, it does help trigger the algorithm. That's the whole point of it. All right. So we're going to actually kick things into Jasmy. And it's been really hard lately getting some Jasmy news because I don't know. Sometimes, you would like there to be consistent news every day, but that's the way it is sometimes when it comes to projects. But I did get creative. I found something in regards to Jasmy. So let's go ahead and jump into that. So as you can see right here, and shout out to this particular person who is Manila Will, a Filipino person. I'm part Filipino. My mom was from there. I actually will follow him because I like his coverage. So here it is. So basically speaking, he says, Jasmy, fun fact. And if anything, we need to pay attention to this. So it says the institutional wallet that released the final 200 million tokens still holds the fractional amount of 0.42069. Somebody like Michael Cornwell might want to know about this because, I think him and I have been talking about this, I believe, last week. So Mike, shout out to you, man. This one's for you. It says one of the reasons for the 0.9s in the total CS count, Jasmy management, right, could have simply wiped this out. So proof to me, or at least to him, they are following their plan to the T. Yeah, all the fudders that were talking about this basically about a month ago. How you like them apples? All right. So how do we know this? Let's jump into it. So when we go into it, you can see the particular token holder. I mean, you can verify this for yourself, but it has that particular balance. And if anything, it's nice to get into it more. And I don't have the full address right there, but I don't know. I thought it was good to report on it because it is interesting to see this because this was something that was brought up. And of course, the fudders went way into it, way after it. I'm glad that, somebody was talking about it, to say the least. And of course, this person responded. He says, which plan are you talking about? What has he missed? What have you guys missed? I like that Manila Will did respond back. I'm going to blow it up a little bit. He states the fractional amount was added by a rogue holder who sent the 0.42069 Jasmy to the investor wallet back on August 28th of 2022. That holder also sent 0.6942 to the developer on the same date. This was not, to the best of his knowledge, part of the plan. So those amounts still exist. All right. So some people may not think this is a big deal, but the main key thing is, the institutional wallet that released the final 200 million tokens still holds the fractional amount of 0.42. And if anything, that is significant. All right. Going to give you guys a little bit more coverage. We're also got some more Jasmy news, and this is cool. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to present in a way you can see it again. All right. Shout out to Kurfi. I believe I'm following him. Yep, I am. He follows me. So thank you very much. He says their team researched Bellwood BWE extensively. I'm glad to see people who are into Jasmy, who aren't content creators, right? Like, guys like this, for instance, maybe he is his own, type of researcher, if you will. But I'm glad to see anybody take more of their own deep dive into anything, right? If you're wondering about him, it says since 1980, he's the host of KIRFI YouTube channel. So I guess he is a content creator. So, okay, there you go. Never mind what I just said. I thought he wasn't, but now this just proves why he has great research. Okay. So he says sometimes it's good to clear the air. And a lot of times when it comes to Jasmine, you do need to clear the air, right? So it says our team researched Bellwood, BWE extensively. The BWE was the original owner of Jasmine. BWE was mentioned in unverified initial coin offering FUD rumors. There was no, and I'll repeat, no ICO. Mixed marketing messages were likely due to BWE's involvement. For instance, Telegram, which, as you guys know, could get toxic as all hell, right? Hence why I don't go on there, because it's just not me. I do have it installed. I'll go on there once in a while when it's needed, or if other devs are requesting that I go in there, I'll do that. I'm hardly ever on it. Maybe once in a while, I'll talk to, what's his name from Clearpool and some other projects. That's it. Says, I'll discuss what this means in more detail in this week's Jasmine Weekly Update. Hera's admission is a good thing. Obviously, Hera of the Jasmine development team. Let's bring up that particular thread. This was back on March 1st, but it's still pretty recent news because it's Jasmine. They don't have news updates every single day unless people get creative with the community. So it says, yes, thank you for the support. Hara, if you're wondering who he is, let's restate it. He is the CFO of Jasmine, and he's also the CEO of Tokyo Token JP, CPA and CPTA, government approved support organization. But anyway, that's who that is. Again, he says, thank you for the support. He also apologized for the concern caused by the rumors. And, God, there's so much fun when it comes to Jasmine. You have to literally, plow through the weeds of all the crap to get where you need to be. I try to help you guys with that. But anyway, he says, first of all the rumors are not about Jasmine, but about a company called Bellwood Enterprises, which used to be the owner of Jasmine. This is good stuff. We need to know about this. So this is because Jasmine is now owned solely by its management. When we go further into this, he also backs this up with more of this particular outline. He says, next, the situation of Bellwood Enterprises regarding the investigation by the FSA and the IRS is completely fake and not true. And on top of that, although there is a fact that the company discussed with the tax office about the installment payment and executed it with the legal range, he states that this article, as if there was an enforcement investigation, is not credible at all, right? Fudders just love to take things off the surface, especially when it comes to Jasmine, and they just like to lift it up off the page without taking the deep dive. That's something that's been consistent with these fudders. I'm telling you flat out. So Hara mentions Jasmine is developing well, and they are beginning to release the fund token applications and start production of blockchain PCs. We appreciate your continued support. And I also want to mention this in regards to like the fund token. So they really had that particular, that token that's similar to like how Chili's basically is. I talked about that before. If you're wondering more about that, I'm going to show you guys that real quick. So if you go to the recorded video section and scroll down, I think it came out with it like maybe a couple weeks ago. But here it is on the far right side. It's called Jasmine Sagan Tosu Fan Token is here. Another utility layer for Jasmine, right? So that gives you a little bit of an idea of what that is about. So when it comes to Jasmine, it's not just the main utility layer of data democratization. They have this, fan token. It's regards to like a particular baseball team because, let's face it, baseball is really popular in Japan. So that's what that's about. We'll jump back, of course, into this particular coverage. So I just want to point that out. And if anything, I'm glad that, whether it's, this person originally who is, let me get back to that particular page. KIRFI, shout to him, right? Because I'm glad that he researched it extensively. And you love the idea that you do see Hara from Jasmine have a response. So whenever we can smash FUD, we'll definitely do so. But yeah, that was, it's nice to hear some good news in regards to Jasmine, in regards to this, because people will construe, fake news, if you will, and let it try to spread like wildfire for whatever reason. Me personally, before we kick it back into the comments, I don't know 100% if this is the case, but if I had to put money on it, a lot of these fudders that are really going after Jasmine hard are the ones who bought at the top of the mountain of like, close to $5 per Jasmine, right? They look at Jasmine as a scam, a rug pull, and so on, right? It's like, come on, you bought the top of the mountain. It's kind of like, I know it's a different comparison, but like somebody bought, Bitcoin at 69K. You can apply that to anything. Never buy the top of the mountain for anything, right? 99% of the time, or maybe it's 95. I don't know what the stats are anymore. You're going to get wrecked when you do that. All right. Let's kick it back to the comments. Thank you for joining us here tonight. Miguel says he'll check it out. Cash Cat says he's going to be DCing Jasmine to the end of this year. Cool. Very, very cool. I'm looking to do probably a little bit each month. Max equals Filipino ice cube. God. Is it because of the hat? That's funny. Wow. Well, it's, for the Portland Diamond Project, on the inside part of this hat, it literally says no rest till opening day, right? Because they're really trying hard to get a Major League Baseball team in Portland, Oregon. But anyway, thank you for that. And for the record, I'm half British American, 1/4 Spanish, 1/8 Filipino, and 1/8 Chinese. Thank you very much. All right. Crypto McDizzle for Shizzle. Max been passing up my Jasmine bag. Am I right? I thought you were ahead of me. I thought you had like 300,000. I'm at like 200,000, 205, something like that. But I'm looking to get more. I don't know. As soon as I get my tax return back, I'm probably going to load up even that much more. And it's not a competition. If it's a competition, you got me beat all the hell. And I did take a tally. So yes, some of you guys know my story. Some of you don't. Took 10K into 120K, and then also reinvested that into crypto. I did a tally. Last tally I did was a little over 60K reinvested into crypto. So it's like, I am not really trying to get into anything and everything. I'm just trying to, at this point, just stack what I have and stack more. So Jasmine, XRP, don't really need to stack more XRP, but I feel like I probably should, especially when we hear some of the talk today. I'm going to talk about that real quick here in a bit. We will talk about it. So just try to have this fresh in your mind. Conflicting information, but shout out to Crypto Hulk. So a lot of us saw the information about that was reported about we could be getting like a Ripple settlement soon. Then Crypto Hulk mentioned, well, look at this document, stating, jury selection. So I don't know what to say in regards to that. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Is it going to be over soon, or is it actually going to trial? That's where it's at. Miguel says EWT, it looks like it was manipulated. He will check that out in more depth. Oh, you're talking about Cypherium, I think, when I was mentioning that on the chart, because this is a few minutes ago. I personally think Jasmine is my personal opportunity. Very cool. Yeah, it's just the risk to reward is very attractive. I mean, don't get me wrong, XRP's risk to reward is very attractive as well. But yeah, Max Cube. Jeez. I don't know. This evening, I got to thank God. I don't know, but today's show is kind of odd. No barking from the dog. No smog. Mike Crypto McDizzle for Shizzle. Cooked a breakfast with no hog. Wow, that's bad rapping right there. Anyway, it rhymes though. Anyway, Stevie says Tim Dow is going to be the biggest AI gainer next bull run. And Mr. Lambo's Crypto Talk is in the house. We're talking about basically me being the Filipino ice cube according to our community tonight because of my hat. So that's okay. I'll take that as a compliment. I've been called worse things like Fat Juice Incorporated, or what was the other one? Yo mama so fat. She took the Pepsi challenge and chose Jif. Max is so wide. They need a sign on the back of a 18-wheeler that says wide load. I don't know. There's some crazy things out there, but that's all right. I can take it. All right. So let's go ahead and highlight this particular comment. Let's get back into the news. And that was it in regards to Jasmine. I do want to mention this as well in reference to yesterday's show of Utility Talk Now. Great show yesterday. I think personally that was our best Utility Talk Now show with Sean yesterday. If you missed it, man, that was a whopper. Shout out to Sobo once again. But anyway, I'm gonna share this, and here we go. So shout out to Mike Cornwell for originally sending this to me on a text. This is in direct reference to yesterday. Okay, we did share this before about maybe a week ago. We're sharing it again because of what was referenced yesterday with Crypto Bellwether's statement that we're being lied to with ISO 222. And of course, he brought some of his knowledge and what he feels as those facts to prove that point. Whether you want to agree with that or not, that's beyond the whole thing. But we did want to squash some of that, or not squash it, but at least share what you want to call that FUD or whatever the case be. We did it. We did a whole show on that yesterday. So here's the direct response in regards to that specifically, maybe not 100%, but part of it. So it says ISO 222 is being implemented. And by the way, this is from Crypto Mike. So it's being implemented across markets globally as the new benchmark standard in payment messaging. By 2023, it is expected that ISO 222 enabled systems will represent, listen to this, 79% of the total volume and 87% of the total value of high value payments worldwide. For low value payments, those figures are set to be 65% and 53% respectively. Now listen, I know that Crypto Bellwether has said, a lot of the content creators out there are idiots. And if, that one particular thing he shared, which we've shared, and quite a few of our, community members have shared, he stated that, quote unquote, we're idiots. I'm not going to go the route of calling him an idiot. That's just something I don't do. Larry doesn't do that. We don't attack other content creators. We might insinuate certain things without mentioning certain things, like those who didn't give us an update on Clifford Inu V2. But for the most part, we do not do that. The way we look at it is kind of like a brotherhood of content creators. Don't go after other messengers. So I'm not going to do that. But I want to throw this out here because the main topic of what he mentioned and the main topic for show yesterday was that, his response. And of course, me and Sean talking about the whole thing of, wow, this guy's saying that there's competition that doesn't need ISO 222 and that we're being lied to. Okay. I don't agree with those particular statements. I respect that he wants to hold those things accountable. And for the record, he also mentioned that he's not dumping his position. And if anything, maybe it does solidify Sean's statement of it's not going to be Ripple moving all the money. Okay. I get that. But when you see this, again, enabled systems will represent, from ISO 222, 79% of the total value, or total volume, and 87% of the total value of high value payments worldwide. For low value payments, those figures are set to be 65% and 53% respectively. Heck, that's why I feel as though that there's still quite a bit of money to be made when in 2023. It takes time to get to where we need to be. Heck, we haven't even had the launch date yet of this whole thing, and everybody's ready to, not you guys, but how many people are out there like, oh, I'm done with crypto. I can't wait no more. I will say this for some of the top influencers out there, they have made or stated this particular quote: do not allow your emotions to wreck you when it comes to the research that you've done for the assets that you hold. There you go. And I live by that daily. If I go by the emotions of some people that are down in the dumps about some particular, the overall crypto market, then I think, who was it? I don't quote Blue Whale Ricky often, but he mentioned it. If you can't live through red days, maybe it was also 2-Bit who said this. I don't know, one or the other, both of them. It doesn't matter. If you can't get through red days and you can't get through the emotional distress of what you see in the market, or bad news from Powell, or whatever the case be, then I don't even know. Maybe crypto isn't for you. But it's weathering the storms and buying at distressed prices during this, accumulation phase. By the way, I'll give a plug for ourselves. Check out that deep dive video, the Bull Run Thesis, part 6, You'll be glad you did. I'm not basing it on emotions. I'm basing it off of data. Shout out to Crypto Mike. Numbers don't have emotions. There it is. Direct response to yesterday's coverage. And if you didn't see it, maybe watch the replay. It was a great show. All right. I'm going to kick it back into the comments. We got more news coverage for you guys. Let's see. Let's go further down. I want to welcome Kiwi Matt, straight from down under. He says, "Hi, Max. Yes, Greg Lunt is an asset to the community. Shout out to the man. Yeah, he's just very, very passionate, very well, very knowledgeable person. That's what respects on. All right. Yeah, you guys welcome each other. That's cool. Jesse Thomas with the 1969 Oldsmobile Cutlass Supreme. See, I got it right this time. And I believe it's convertible. Yesterday's show got me questioning my investments. Okay. Hopefully not to the point where you're dumping it, though. So I wanted, again, to, I'm glad I shared that response with that particular image, because you know what? It's one thing to hear somebody else state what he did, and he brought a lot to the table, right? He feels though he did his homework, and rightfully so. But at the same time, I'm not going to go and dump everything. I feel there's still a lot of great opportunity with this. And I still firmly believe that Ripple will move most of the institutional money in the future. All right. Let's go further down. And then, of course, retail money, Stellar and so on. He did give a lot of praise to Quant and H-Bar. I'll give him credit in regards to that. All right. Let's go further down. We got KK in the house. What's going on, fellas? Good to have you here, KK. Smash that like if you haven't done so already, everybody. All right. Everyone saying hello to each other. Thanks for welcoming Kiwi, Matt, KK, and so on. Let's kick it back into the news. We're about an hour and 17 minutes into the show. I'm going to give a plug for our site, because this is the time I do need to do it. I meant to do it a little bit earlier. So for tomorrow, we have the first ever. I'll actually show you a little. I think I'm going to show you a little taste of what it looks like. Maybe I can get into it. Hold on a second. But yes, you do need to go to the website to register so you can participate on a team for the game show tomorrow. And if anything, I'll show you why that is here in a moment. Just letting this thing load up for a second. Give me a second. So let me see here. I'll launch this real quick. And I don't know, I'll give you a little taste. Basic launch game. Let's play. Hold on a second. All right, here's a taste of it. All right, so what you see right here is a taste of what's going to happen for tomorrow. This is Cryptivia, and it is Crypto Talk Now's very own game show. It has a total of 3 particular variety rounds. And of course, you get the right answer. You'll hear the audience applause. You get the wrong answer. It's like sad. There is a thing. It's not like a daily double or whatever, but basically speaking, like let's get a daily double. Like let's say Wadi lands on it, right? So it will say, all right, Wadi, should you pump or should you dump? And then he could choose to dump the question on the next particular person and so on. It's gonna be a fun game. Really looking forward to it. Tomorrow's contestants obviously are Larry, Sean the Crypto Smith, Wadi the Crypto Hunter, and Daniel Gayton. You guys also will be able to participate in this particular show by using your phone. And on the first round, you'll even be able to participate and compete against other CTN community members for the high score. There's also going to be a difference, of course, on what teams you're part of and so on, where you're part of Daniel's team and so on, in which you'll still need to be able to use your phone. But I just want to give you a quick little image of a taste of this. And glad to be able to do so. I'm really, really looking forward to it. I think it's gonna be a fun thing, and it's actually a little change, not to a degree where it's going to be boring, but I think it's going to be fun. It will, keep the audience, all you guys into it and so on. Bring your A game tomorrow. All right. There's going to be a few categories, not just ISOs and stuff like that. It's all crypto related. There will be memes and stuff like that. But I will state this: bring your A game. You're going to need it. All right. Let's go further into the comments. KK says the poor sell the dip, the rich buy the dip, the wealthy buy a lot. Okay. Are you sure? Really? Tomorrow, man? Yes, it's fine. I know. You're probably like, you've been saying this for a while. When my Rust is Saitama? Yeah. It's finally going to happen. Unless a black swan event happens at my house. Like my dad has to go back to the hospital or something like that. No, we should be fine. It'll finally be here. I know, Tim. You're like, finally, huh? I've been hearing about this for a while. Yes, but it's well worth the wait. I'll say that much. All right. Magic Power says Ripple's two-step plan. First step, Ripple build his infrastructure and network with their software and connected banks, financial institutions, and all partners with each other. Jesse Thomas says, I'm in till the end, not dumping a thing, but definitely an eye-opener and feel like I need to up my bag on Chainlink. Okay. Very cool. I mean, we all owe it to each other, whether it's Crypto Bellwether or whoever, right, to look more into these things. It is our hard-earned money. So, I mean, I will give him credit as far as that goes. But I don't necessarily agree with everything he says, and that's okay. All right, so Magic Power says Ripple implemented their software in the global payment system. He also says, according to Magic Power, second step is to convince the financial world of the benefits that bring XRP as a bridge currency with on-demand liquidity. Yes, thank you very much. Customers are able to send money across borders or overseas, for that matter, faster and cheaper. Very true. Eliminating the legacy frictions associated with cross-border payments, such as slow settlement times, lack of transparency, and excessive costs. Ripple Power. I just called you Ripple Power because you're reading so much Ripple, giving us so much Ripple information. How about this? Ripple Magic Power. Ripple with the XRP real-time payments cross border is the future. Yes. Can you phone a friend? Don't say that. Yeah, originally we were gonna implement that, and then I was like, nah, because what's gonna happen is like this. All right, so I do have rules, and I'll read the rules before the show starts tomorrow. So it's gonna go like first round. You're gonna have to get as much points as you can going second, and so the second part of the variety show, if you will, which is kind of like a Wheel of Fortune style part of the game. So there's a total of 4 people there. So Larry, Daniel, Waddy, Sean. After the second round, half will be eliminated. The final round will be kind of like a Family Feud-esque type of thing. Because let's face it, with Family Feud, you can only have 2 families, right? So it'll be the last 2 teams standing. We're not going to put can you phone a friend in Family Feud? That just wouldn't make sense. But yeah, the final round is like a Family Feud type thing. So yeah, that won't be part of it. And speaking of the phone thing, I did totally forget about the whole thing of having you guys call in, but you guys haven't been taking advantage of it anyway. It's okay. But yeah, let's do the plug real quick for the site. So if you haven't seen it already, go to ctnnetwork.net. And again, I like to re-advise you guys and restate that you do need to sign up and be on here in order to participate in the game show, because you're going to be needing to use the members chat function so you can communicate with your team members. Otherwise, if people just type it in the global chat, it'd be like a form of cheating and messing up the flow and so on. So don't get me wrong, if it's non-game show related things, you could type in the global chat, but there's certain rules that we're going to have, so it just simply doesn't mess up the game, right? All right, so here it is. ctnnetwork.net is where you want to go to. It's free, doesn't cost you anything. If you want to do the lazy route and not put in a username and password, you don't have to. You can connect and make an account through Gmail or even Facebook if you happen to use that old thing. And if anything, how about this? There's quite a few creators that are on this. So you go to creators, and for instance, you can see for like 2Bit, Bleeze, Chaka, Class Crypto, Michael Crypto Lounge, Jeremy Crypto Realist, Daniel Gayton, Crypto Smith, Maria Anderson, Waddy, a few familiar faces. How about this? Kung Tech Fu. I don't know if he's here tonight. Michael Montclair, right? And then how about this? We'll give a plug for Michael Montclair. So you can go to Michael Montclair's YouTube. You click on that. This comes up, and you can see that he's on there. And if anything, you can watch some of his particular content. You click on videos. Click on, so he's got, what was it, AI generated a month ago. These images is for that's pretty cool. He did pretty well on that one about a month ago. Right on. So yeah, you can support a fellow content creator. Very, very cool. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and stop the share on that. I'm gonna show you a little bit more. And on top of that, let me just show you guys this real quick. You have some other particular areas, like we're trying to get the form sorted out, and we will. So you guys can just, like even myself, I'm going to be posting a lot there for articles, discussion, you name it. But let's say, for instance, you want to, communicate with a particular member. So after you signed up, let's say it's tomorrow, and you're on a team, you go to the member section, and then you can just simply message. Let's say I want to message, Ryan. I can just go over here and be like, you know what? Let me tell you something, Mr. Ryan. My fat juice brings all the fat chicks to the yard, and they're like, oh my God, Max is so lard. I can teach you, but I have to be the Filipino ice cube that charged. You know what I'm saying? And then that way he knows, all right, we're part of the same team. And then he's just like, well, Max, or let's say I'm like, you know what, Ryan, I think the answer is butt plug Inu. And he could be like, no, Max, the answer is Mononoke Inu. Yeah, man. There you go. So that way it's not on the global chat. And then, So there's some of that. Of course, there's a little bit more into this. And you could go to, for instance, CTN Studios, and you can actually watch the shows from here. There's, of course, the call-in feature, but I messed that part up. But yeah, check it out. ctnnetwork.net. All right. Going to read another comment, and then we're going to kick it back into the news. Mr. Lambo says, hey, Max, what do you think is going to be 25 basis points or 50 basis points later this month? I'm going to go with 25 basis points. I think 50 is a little bit too hardcore. I've been right so far. Unless something drastically changes. I'm going to go with 25. Yeah. Where are you going? Where are you guys going with? I want to hear that as well. All right, let's kick it back into the news. We're about an hour and a half into the show. We still have quite a bit of coverage for you guys tonight. Thanks for being here. Please smash the like, even though you probably get tired of me saying that. Guys, to be honest, it doesn't cost you anything. It's not like I'm asking for a super chat, but it definitely helps. And why wasn't this highlighted earlier? There we go. Like the stream. Yes, thank you very much. Smash the like button. There you go. We'll have to get another one that says, about the site on the ticker on the bottom as well. But yeah, let's see here. And let's go ahead and share this. So let's see here. I'm going to go. We talked last about the whole thing with ISO. Shout out to Crypto Mike. I'm going to share this one. This comes from Verson Alarja. You guys know about him, Black Swan Capitalist. So let's see. Here it is. This is the Ripple XRP news you're looking for. And, he has great content. He continuously does podcasts with Crypto Lulu. Check this out. So Blackstone's default on a $562 million may be the catalyst that triggers a chain reaction of margin calls and bankruptcies, resulting in a global liquidity crisis for XRP. Now, this is not the first time anybody has thought about this particular idea or topic of like what could happen, right? We've been talking about this for the longest time. Other content creators, Verson, Crypto Lulu, I think even shout out to Coach JV, I think he talks about that a lot, right? So it says wealth. Blackstone defaults on Nordic CMBS as property values wobble. The notes are backed by a portfolio of offices and stores. Blackstone has been trying to sell the underlying properties. And, you know, this guy right here had a pretty good response. It says, someone say they might need an icebreaker. Remember how we were talking about this earlier with quant? So, I mean, you guys got to keep in mind, like, there's a reason why we bring these outlines to everybody. Yeah, that was quant earlier, but there's something to be said about with, you know, excuse me, what's going on with the Bank of International Settlements, how this is all connected, how different organizations are talking to each other and so on. You know, like this guy, he's got a great response to Versailles. Says banks are already utilizing RippleNet ODL. They never actually have to hold XRP and you use it. It's a good point. I like this particular response. He says, from new money, there are cracks everywhere while central banks continue to plug holes with less and less meaningful fiat. His question becomes just how long can it keep this game up and what to take the blame? The powers that be surely won't. And that's a good point. On top of that, I want to bring you guys some more. And this time it is in regards to XLM, Stellar. I don't know if Crypto Be Well there is going to be a fan of this particular chart. To be honest, no offense to him, I don't care. But look what it says here. Here's a particular Stellar thread. And this is in regards to cross-border DeFi payment system, bank-to-bank, and even peer-to-peer, and remittances for any particular currency. Let's pull that up, and let's blow it up. So you have, you know, the guardians, the experts, the beat, right? So, you know, you have how this particular thing is broken down. I know some of you guys use Lumen Scan. People use, you know, for instance, Etherscan. That's not the point. But it's nice to be able to see everything that Stellar has got going for it, right? Whether it's Starbridge, whether it's Pendulum, whether it's some of the other ones we're more familiar with, like Lumen Swap and so on. I like this so much. Yes, I'm going to retweet this. Why wouldn't I want to retweet this? This is good stuff. So I'm going to share that. I mean, it's technically old, but you know, you don't see a lot of these, right? And it gives you a full breakdown, of course, of everything that's connected with it. So glad to share that. And of course, they have this other one, right? This is again back, you know, September 2022. I mean, it's only a few months ago. It's not that bad. So yeah, Stellar, you have the Starbridge integration, bridge between Stellar and other blockchain networks. We blow that up. You have like some of the things you see here. And bottom line is this, right? It allows interoperability with Ethereum. The transfer value, decentralization, symmetrically, bidirectionally, pre-selected assets, throughput, latency of -5 seconds. It says SRC/DES not online at the same time. Offline wallets support SRC/DES pay fees. If you're into these type of things, it gives you a breakdown of how they collect authorized signatures from Starbridge operations or operators, I should say. And it just kind of like comes into full circle. I thought I would also like that retweeted. I mean, it's a few months old, but you know what? Not a lot of people were sharing it, you know, during that particular time. And I mean, look here. I mean, there was only 3 retweets on one of them. There was only 17 likes. This is why people state that, you know, when it comes to XLM, Stellar, right? It's just like it doesn't really trend. But if anything, we understand how powerful it's going to be. So I wanted to get more of this out. Because I like these diagrams. I feel as though they're very, very useful. Here's another one, right? So Stellar Starlight, right? Over 1 million TPS plus millions of transactions per channel off-chain. I mean, wow, does that not sound amazing? Finalized on-chain settlement as a single transaction. Millions of transactions for 0.0001. So 0.0001 cost. Let's blow that up. Let's go ahead and also retweet that one. All right, here at CTN, it's not just about the news. It's also try to give people the crypto news and education. So you have Stellar Starlight, Layer 2 protocol. And of course, you can read more about this. There's a lot that's into it. But again, you know, I like these. You know, I thought they did a good job of providing this. Excuse me. The I think there might be one more, maybe two. I want to show you guys this as well. So Stellar Project Jump Cannon, which is Sorbonne, it's a smart contract platform, if you didn't know about this, built on Stellar. Cool stuff, right? WA plus Rust, Cargo, Sorbonne, smart contracts on Stellar. I'm going to blow this one up as well. Like it, retweet it. I mean, why not? I'm pretty sure close to 100% of us are invested into Stellar. I mean, let's just be honest, right? So again, great diagram of on this particular chart, right? It gives you another perspective. I mean, some of us may not know about all these types of things, but it's nice to have a visual instead of just a bunch of plain text, right? Can we agree on that? I think we can. So there's also this. I think there might be like two, maybe there's one or two more. Hold on. I'm going to blow this one up. Stellar Network, Stellar Core, Node, Net, Horizon API, Bridge Compliance Servers plus Testnet, apps built on Stellar software development kit. I mean, how cool is that? Wallets, payment providers, asset issuers, your app, online banking apps. I mean, this is cool stuff. So I'm going to, again, like it, retweet it. And you start off where you have validating and agreeing with core on the status of every transaction. You have SPC, Stellar Consensus Protocol. Again, a lot of us know about it, but not all of us know everything about it, right? It's nice to get a breakdown. Remember how we're talking about now payments, with FedNow and so on? Look at that. That's right there, right? You have Shopify, now payments, Stellar Pay, payment services. Look at some of the particular examples, right? With that debit card. And then it says, for instance, your app, how it connects to the apps, how it connects to the online banking apps, how you have a bridge server that makes it all happen. Pretty impressive stuff. All right. I think this is the last one. Yep, this is the last one. Let's talk about it real quick. So some of you guys do mention on the show, at least in the comments, I know I've seen you guys a few times do this. You mentioned LumenSwap, and rightfully so. So, Stellar Net, LumenSwap, LSP, Stellar Asset Swap Network, plus AMM and NFTs. We might as well mention it, right? Rinse and repeat, Maximus. Like, retweet, boil it, mash it, stick it in a stew. Potatoes. Come on. What movie is that from? You guys know? Lord of the Rings people. Come on. Remember Sam? Anyway. All right. So look here. Lumen Scan you have right here. Connects to the Ledger Network, Explorer for the Stellar Network. Yeah, some of these particular examples. I mean, most of you guys use, a Ledger, right? You have, for instance, some of this where it connects to private key, connect wallet, staking pools, order book, market. Again, it's just a nice diagram, about, for instance, staking, which, let's face it, here in the United States, I mean, I guess that's a big no-no, but there you go. And it gives you an example of how it's all broken down and how it all works with the LumenSwap, because this does get brought up. Anyway, you do more of your own research. There it is. Glad to have shared it. All right, going to kick it back into the comments. We do have more news. Next up will be XDC. And if anything, give me just a second to get back into the comments. All right. So let's see here. We got Mr. Lambos. He said 50 based on how he said up the pace of the hikes. Yeah. Well, I don't know. I'll have to double check in regards to that. I did watch a good chunk of his particular interview. Maybe I do change my stance on that, but I don't know. I'll have to look more into it. Thank you, Mr. Lambos. Miguel says, frankly, we all need to fill our bags of our favorite coin. Good luck, crypto family. Yeah, very good point. Rafael Santos in the house. Good to see Rafael. Glad to have you here tonight. Hopefully you're doing a lot better. And Crypto McDizzle says, at Max Tag. All right, let me check it out. Let me welcome Pulse Unity, your number one brand in crypto. Hi, all, just dropping by. Well, glad to have you here, Pulse Unity. And thanks for stopping by. And guys, let's go ahead and welcome him, whether he left or not. 40 beautiful people here tonight. Thanks for being here tonight. Let's check out what I was tagged in. I think there's a couple of them. which I think we have one for maybe Tim Shea, another one, and so on. So let's pull that up. Oh, it's actually from La Grande Commission. And then the other one was from Mr. Bronco Stocks. So actually, let me hold on. What is that, Tim? I have not heard of that. So we could look more into that. And then I'll also get into Legrand's info in a bit. I'm going to start off with Mr. Michael Cornwell from, sharing some info from TED with Capital. Very cool. Let me go ahead and share that real quick. So let's get into it. Shout out to both Ted of Lift Capital and, of course, Michael Cornwell. So Ted has this particular tweet, and it states, banks must now complete their transition to the new format by June 2023. ISO 222, XDC, XRP, XLM, obviously. The legacy system of MT, right, that dates back to the 1970s, right, especially with that is basically on Swift, excuse me. You have MT 103, which is going to go over to ISO 222 with what's referred to on this particular code of PAX 0.008. You have MT 202, some of the non-applicable ones, MT 900/910 messaging standards, and these other ones, right? So it says, when do the ISO 222 changes come into effect? That's a great question. And you know what? Ted doing it big, right? I do watch the show as much as I can, especially if I have time. Sometimes I can't because it might be during the time I'm doing show prep. I do try to stop in there and so on. Great human being, great content creator. I did, I think, hear Cool Cat or somebody else say that, he want to do a collaboration. Maybe we can do that at some point. Anyway, so financial institutions have already begun, I should say, the transition to the new ISO 222 messaging standard, but they were originally scheduled to complete this process between November 2022 and, of course, all the way out to November 2025. Of course, it was this November 2022 is delayed to March 20th this month of 2023. However, due to an announcement by the Bank of England, banks must now complete their transition to the new format by June of 2023, I guess, or else. Is that where we're going with this? So it says for most corporates and NBFIs, it is best to confirm a timeline for these changes with their counterparty bank as soon as possible. Some banks may choose to run parallel processes that support both old and new formats until 2025. This deadline allows organizations enough time to make the necessary transitions in their infrastructure so they can benefit from these modern standards. Yeah, but let's face it, the implementation of getting the thing going is March 2020, 20th or 22nd. Of this month, and then I guess have until June. I don't know what's going to happen. Get hit with, what is it, like a penalty? I don't know. But my thing also is this statement right here. Make the necessary transitions on the very bottom. Make the necessary transitions in their infrastructure so they can benefit from these modern standards. My thing is this: once they start using it, if they can't see that they can't benefit, why would you want to use the old standard? Get what I'm saying? But I also understand some people say, well, the same applies to blockchain, Max, with legacy systems. Why would you want to use the old Ethereum? Well, it's still going to be there. So I think it further solidifies kind of like what Crypto Bellwether was stating yesterday, to a sense. Legacy systems will still be around. I don't know. That's just my stance. But thank you for that, Mike Cornwell. And also Ted from Lift Capital. By all means, subscribe to Ted. Here is his particular Twitter. And I am following him. He's not following me. Shame on you, Ted. That's all right. Anyway, thank you for that, Mike Cornwell. On top of that, we will share some of the other couple ones that we have. Excuse me, I'm kind of having a problem with my allergies tonight. So I want to share Le Grand Commissions, Mr. Le Grand Commission. Here we go. And I'll share this tab instead. So he had this particular one from Crypto Potato. Interesting. Posted today. Crypto bull run may have already started once River CEO says. And I, of course, have done bull run thesis part 6 in regards to the accumulation phase. And I back that up with actual data. My main source is from Investor Place, a premium service. So thank you for that, Mr. LeBron Commission. Eric Peters states that he is extremely bullish on crypto for the medium to long term, suggesting institutions will dive in during the bull cycle. That's what I believe. If Brian Dowie's still here, I think he's on board for that as well. So Eric Peters, CEO of one of River Digital Assets Management, thinks the next crypto bull run will be very powerful because it will be driven by institutional adoption. He argued that the market might have already moved to such a phase. He's extremely bullish for the long term. In a recent appearance on the Bankless podcast, Peters opined that the crypto winter is already in the past. And describing, God, I can't talk tonight. Last year's decline to the Wall Street collapse of 1929, also known as the Great Crash, very true. His quote, he's very grateful that we have navigated this bear market and is really, and it really was kind of a 1929 market crash environment. One of River's execs said he's extremely bullish for the medium to long term, like we mentioned before. He thinks that the next phase will be very powerful because it is actually, a real institutional adoption. As I think why some people also state, the fourth industrial revolution, right? That's a common thing. Peter suggested that the bull run might have begun, outlining the market surge since the beginning of the year. Bitcoin finished 2022 at around 16.5, while as of this moment, it trades at approximately 22.4, 35% increase. It even spiked to 25K in February. Evaluation last registered in June of 2022. Very true. According to the American, one factor that currently stops institutions from diving into crypto's ecosystem is a regulatory uncertainty. But the key thing is we will get regulatory clarity soon. I think that's what he's trying to reiterate as well. So once the US, Europe, and Canada impose proper rules, institutional capital should flow toward the market, or I should say the industry, while financial companies could integrate blockchain technology into their operations, he claimed. Peters saw some benefits from the devastating plunge into the crypto market in 2022. We all saw that, right? As it gave people vital trading lessons. He recommended future investors jump on the bandwagon only if they're prepared for the volatility and the different cycles. We've already seen some of those particular cycles, 4-year boom cycles and so on. But yeah, he concluded that those who endure the turbulence will benefit in the long term and understand how the economy generally works. On top of that, the deal as far as Coinbase, which is always in the news, the US-based cryptocurrency exchange Coinbase acquired One River Digital Asset Management just a few days ago without disclosing the terms and the sum of the agreement. As a result, the latter will be renamed Coinbase Asset Management, while Eric Peters will continue serving as CEO and CIO. So pretty interesting. Thanks for that, LeBron Commission. We're going to kick it back in the comments. I will share Tim Shay's here in a bit. Thank you for being here. But Pulse Unity says, your number one brand in crypto. This is a really cool channel. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. I hope to see more of you. Really mean that. We have a very active community. We have shows every single day, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. Since you're new, check out our particular site, which is ctnnetwork.net. And if you go over there, it's absolutely free. It doesn't cost you anything. And even if you're lazy, you don't have to sign up with an email, or you don't have to sign up with email or password. You just do it like, Gmail, like a Google account, or Facebook if you like. But yeah, we're on here, of course, obviously, but there's other content creators we have on here. Like I'll give a plug to, let's give a plug to Waddy this time. Where's he at? So you can click on Waddy's channel, and it takes you straight to his YouTube channel, and you can give him like a follow, for instance. So it's pretty cool stuff. I'll hit the back button. And yeah, glad to show you guys that. Here, I'm gonna share this tab instead. And on top of that, you can, send people DMs like myself if you want to get a hold of myself or any other member. We have forums. We're just trying to work out some, kinks in regards to that. But there's crypto news. There's the community tab. There's all sorts of good things here. This is a new website. We're really excited about it. So thanks for being here. And on top of that, let me see. Let's go further down. We got Tim Shea says, Max, I know you have so much to look into. I do, but it's okay. But thought you might be interested in that one when and if you get a chance. Oh, okay. So if anything, let me click on that real quick. What's it called? Just XX. Yeah, I'll remember to. Yeah, XX. Okay, so let me write that down in my notes real quick, because if I don't have notes, I'll forget. So I'll add that after CASPA. And we're still going to do some velo tonight if we have time. Hopefully we still do, for Mr. Brian Dowie. All right. So thank you for that, Tim. And Tim Shea says, Big Watch brought up the collaboration with Ted. Oh, he did? Very cool. I do see the super chat came through. Very cool. Thanks, Tim. Wow. From Legrand Commission, man. Thank you so much, man. Glad to have you back. Welcome back to Mr. Legrand Commission. Yes. Oui. Merci beaucoup. He says, thank you, or in his language, muchos gracias, Max. Whoever holds to pass this bear market will make great profits in the bull run. Yes, it's absolutely true. I don't share a lot of his particular tweets. I think he's a good person. I saw him mention this a while back. Was it Cool and Chris? He said something like, he had that particular thing. I think it had a meme, and it's or maybe it was just a regular tweet with a sentence. It says, don't use your heart, trade with the chart. You know what I mean? I get what he's trying to say, but it was a good statement. Like, it could be a very emotional roller coaster. So, but yeah, shout out to him. And also Legrand Commission. Thanks again, man. And I'm really glad to see you back in the comments. I really missed you, man. A good friend and community member. I wish you the best, man. And congratulations on your newborn. What was it? Roughly about a couple months ago, if I'm not mistaken. So congratulations again. And thank you for the $50 super chat. Really, really do appreciate it. We do try to put a lot of grind and hard work into this channel. We have our ups and downs just like anybody else, but you've been a person that's been part of our community for the longest time. I'm really, really happy to see you back, man. I really mean that. So much love, brother. Thank you. God bless you. All right. I'm going to go further down. Michael Montclair says, nice look, Ron. No problem, Michael. And yeah, it really was nice. It's always nice, whether it's LeBron with 50 or, some of you guys with, a couple bucks here and there, or whatever the case, Salamander, Cornwells. I don't know if I must have missed somebody or random person. They're always nice to get. But, my main thing is, as long as we're consistently growing our platform and our community here, that's the main thing. I mean, when I see some decent numbers, let's face it, it's a crash day. The numbers are going to go down compared to yesterday. Yesterday's show was awesome. Best show I ever had with Sean 72. It wasn't my all-time high personally, but for our show, Utility Talk Now, it was awesome. So I was really pleased with that. And then when I saw the bad news, of course, that happened today with Powell and so on, I was like, yeah, we're probably going to take a hit, but it's all right. It's to be expected. It's okay. Really appreciate you guys being here, though. And by all means, check out some of the recorded content, and especially if you hold Nexera, ALBT V2, right? Got some info update for you guys, as well as Quant and the whole bull run thesis, part 6, the accumulation phase. Yes. All right. Michael Montclair says, I'm going to try to get $5,000 worth of XRP before it explodes. You know what? I mentioned to, and shout out to you, man. That's awesome. I mentioned to Mike Cornwell, I was like, man, you know, if we are going to get a judgment soon, I understand, you know, Crypto Hulk was saying that might not be the case. It might go to trial and so on, right? But I'm not saying who's right, who's wrong, but if this thing is really going to be over soon, like, I guess that's a sense of FOMO. And my attitude is like, man, you know what? Maybe all these other ones you wanted to go all out on, like Stratos, nothing against it, Filecoin, so on. Maybe I just say, to heck with it, man. Give me 20,000 XRP right now. You know what I mean? And it just, just like you mentioned, man, before it explodes. So, I'll have to do the math on it, but that's a nice chunk of change, man, to get XRP. You seem like you're pretty into, you know, you believe in XRP, obviously. So cool. And Chris keeps it real. Yeah, he seems like a good guy. He's following me. I'm following him. He's a good guy. Pulse Unity, your number one brand in crypto. Thank you for the welcome. I'm not allowed out much, so it's great to do something new. All right. No problem, man. You're very welcome. And thank you so much again, Legrand. It's always nice to see, you know, old friends, familiar faces back here. So it means a lot. All right. It's good to have a good laugh. And you will not believe who's also here, an OG of OGs, the guy who was literally at the first Friday where we only had 2 people watching. I'll never forget that as long as I live. Cody Court, man. You were one of the 2 people. Good to see you, man. He says, what is up, everyone? Tim Shea and Legrand Commission. Yes. All right. We're going to kick it into the XDC news. This is the Crypto News Network XDC news you're looking for. Lionel Richie. All right. Shout out to Utility to the Moon who provided this. It's just a quick clip. But man, it gets you thinking. Gets you really, really thinking. So I believe, no, I'm not following him. I'm going to follow him. He deserves a follow. He's at Crypto Twitter. He says Crypto Twitter is the best Twitter. He loves utility projects. XDC is his favorite. So that's cool. He's like basically like an XDC maxi. And you can't really blame him. I mean, you know what? Guys, let's be honest. Can we all agree on this? When it comes to XDC, when it comes to the ISOs, still probably one of the most undervalued, underappreciated of the bunch, right? By far. All right, look what it states. XDC moving 2.4 quadrillion in securities. Interesting. Let's play this. It's only 42 seconds, and then we will come right back. Here we go.
XDC could be involved in something huge. The DTCC has selected R3 Corda as the underlying technology for Project Ion. Listen to this.
Which is a post-trade market infrastructure provider. Our core business is providing clearance and settlement services for U.S. securities markets and post some pretty big numbers. I think last year we processed $2.4 quadrillion worth of securities. We often get asked if that's a real number, and it is in fact a real number.
And that's a huge deal for XDC because they are the settlement token for R3 Corda. Like and follow for more. XDC could be involved.
All right. Yeah, I was glad to share that because, I mean, you know, one of our last big XDC updates on the recorded videos was about how 90% of banks use R3, right? In the XDC connection. When I talked to you guys for many months now about the whole thing of, you know, R3 Corda and XDC and how that bridge with R3 is huge, that's exactly, you know, that's it. I mean, it is huge, just like what you saw right there. So that in itself, I don't think people understand the magnitude of that. And when you hear about, you know, XDC being part of the whole trade sector of things and so on, this is why I consistently put it in my top 4 that I'm bullish on, right? You know, obviously Quant, XRP, XLM, but number 4 is consistently XDC. And I actually have number 5 would probably be HBAR, you know, if I had to get pinned down on it and so on. don't get me wrong, some of these other ones are part of the mix and so on. And, I feel as though, Jasmine, though it's not an ISO, great risk to reward. But I mean, as far as consistency of the ISOs, there's my 5, and XDC is consistently my number 4. All right. So I do see we got another, I believe another, am I reading this right? Am my eyes playing tricks on me? No, they're not playing tricks on me. Wow, man. Thanks, Legrand. I really appreciate it, man. He says he never left. He just didn't comment anything on telling. Yeah, I know you mentioned that in the past. So, thanks, man. Comment. I live the heck out of stuff, right? So, very, very cool, man. Yeah, you never left. Just didn't comment anything until now. Well, still, whether you didn't leave or not, your comments are always more than welcome. And yeah, man, it just, I don't know how to explain it. It's like, it's kind of like a homecoming. You know what I mean? It's like when you're really glad to see somebody again. Maybe it's that way with our loved ones in spirit, I guess. You know what I mean? It's like they're never technically gone, but they're here in spirit. So thanks, man. And thank you again for the $50 super chat. Really appreciate it. Larry was even thanking you as well. Thank you for that. Eddie T's in the house. Thank you for always being here, Eddie T. You're always, man, like usually you're like the first here. You're a little late this time. That's okay. No problem. You're allowed to be late. But Eddie T, I always appreciate you, man. We always say, consider changing your avatar. Something speaks more about who you are and what you're about. If I don't know who Eddie T is by now in the comments, then I don't know what to say. So you are the exception to the rule, my friend. You don't even need to ever worry about having a custom avatar, because if I don't know who Eddie T is by now, then Maximus needs to get his crap together. So thank you so much, Eddie T, for being here, man. You've been a long time supporter, just like, Legrand, Tim Shea, Brian Dowie, the Cornwells, Coochie Boy, Cody Core, Selmo Flood, Rafael Santos. I could go on and on. If I missed somebody, it was on purpose. But I'm talking about like some real OGs of OGs. I always appreciate you, man. I want you to know that. All right. Miguel says 25K CRP. I think he meant XRP. It was a typo because the C is next to the X on the keyboard. Yes. Equals 9250. Yeah, I'm not looking to pick up 25K, but I wouldn't mind maybe getting 20K. Anyway, I know that's going bold on it, but it's just something I was thinking about doing. I think I got a message from somebody. It was from Abdi. Yeah, Abdi Omar, aka Ray. Yeah, he was reading my comment where I was like, my fat juice brings all the fat chicks to the yard, and they're like, oh my God, Max is so lard. I could teach you, but I have to be the Filipino ice cube that's in charge. I know. If you're disconnecting, you're like, well, that was random, but that's in reference to something else. Anyway, yes, Ryan, hopefully you're still here because you just sent me that message not that long ago. Good stuff, right? Yeah. Thank you again, Legrand. He says, no problem, Larry. Yes, shout out to all you guys, Legrand, everybody. Thank you very much. All right. Love the community that we got here. GS is in the house. Where you at, GS? Hello, is it GS you're looking for? Lionel Richie. All right. Here you go. Give me just a second, guys. All right. So let me see here. Yes. Max, guten Tag. All right, let's get into that. Let me highlight that real quick. I will show you what Mr. Cornwell is sharing. What is it? Well, it's some hot, juicy stuff. Brad Garlinghouse, XRP will replace Swift. Maybe you know who won't want to see this. All right. I got to quit joking around about that. I think he's a good guy. He brings a different argument. All right. So, shout out to Crypto Mike. We're going to watch this real quick. It is still in regards to the Ripple news. So we did do XDC, but that's all right. We can jump back and forth. There's no rule to say that we can't, right? Let's go ahead and play this. Let's see how long it is real quick. 6 minutes. That's fine. You can always pause or whatever. Can make it higher quality than 720. No, that's all right. All right. So, yeah, let's watch this. XRP will replace. I got a neighbor that is just crazy. Every day she comes out and she has to blare her horn at full volume capacity, if you will. It's the craziest thing. She does it at 3 o'clock in the morning. She does it 6 o'clock in the morning. I told her about it. Like, is it really necessary? And she just doesn't give a crap. It's just so weird. Why? I don't do that. Anyway, maybe tonight, if I happen to eat out late on a Taco Tuesday, I'll come back while she's sleeping and it just blare my horn really, really loud. And then she comes out and be like, oh, I was adjusting my my car alarm like you do every night. No, I don't do that. But anyway, that has nothing to do with crypto, Max. Yes, I know. Play the video. Here we go. We'll play it. Thank you, Mark Cornwell. Here we go.
Now Swift, Swift is kind of a competitor. It's slightly more complicated than that because Swift is really just messaging. When you send a Swift transfer, it's not liquidity. You're actually sending bank messages to banks that have liquidity. So to some degree, Citibank and HSBC, really the top two, JPM, those are the top three liquidity banks. And when you're sending Swift messages, you're sending messages to banks to release liquidity and making sure the debits and credits match. So to some degree, really boil it down, Ripple's competing with the liquidity of Citi and the messaging of Swift, but in one, because we're both messaging and liquidity. And at the end of the day, again, as I described, Swift was developed 50 plus years ago. It architecturally hasn't really changed. It does remain slow. It remains, days. It does remain, relatively speaking, expensive. And actually, interestingly, it's quite error prone. And part of that is just, it's a one-way messaging protocol. So if I fat finger Tassos and I put one S instead of two in the middle, I guess you have three S's, but that will bounce back. They'll say, no, that account name doesn't match that person. That's an error. Now, if you use modern technology, you would get a real time, you're typing in Tassos an account number, you get a real time, okay, does that account match? Oh, I mistyped, I fat fingered that name. So the efficiency, we see instead of a 6% error rate as reported for Swift, you see, 10 bips of error, so 99.9% effective. So, we think these are better technologies that can be applied broadly to the vast majority of, frankly, all of the banking system by selling it as a wholesaler, if you will. And therefore, if we don't compete with the WeChats, WeChat could be a customer of ours.
You touched upon something that I think is very relevant and something we've heard a lot about, and that's regulation, right? You look at crypto, and if I look back, crypto started as something that was more anti-regulation, anti-system following the financial crisis of 2008. And yet you are an advocate of regulation. How do you reconcile these two?
When I first got exposed to crypto, there's no question that the perspective was anti-government. Bitcoin kind of came from that heritage, and I always thought these are amazing technologies. But if you wanted to have the broadest impact for the broadest population, you needed to work with the system and work with governments, and work with regulators. So for really since the beginning of Ripple's life, we've been engaging regulators globally. And that has, I think, been to our benefit for sure, in lots of different jurisdictions. The United States, interestingly, is really behind lots of other countries. And, here in Davos, I've made the argument to the various sessions around crypto that we spend too much time talking about the US regulatory framework because it's quite a bit behind countries like the UK or Japan. Well, certainly Switzerland was early and aggressive in codifying and being specific about what the regulatory framework for crypto would look like. And when you're clear about the framework, that allows entrepreneurs and investment capital to flow in because it reduces risk. When you don't know what that looks like, if you're an entrepreneur, one of the first pieces of advice I give people is don't start your company in the United States at this point. until the rules are clear.
Mhm.
Most crypto entrepreneurs, I find, they want to follow the rules of the road, but if you don't know what the rules of the road are,
You
that
make
makes it
them
hard.
up or you don't know where to be.
Yeah. So if you operate and start, I mean, we're a very global business. If you were a Swiss company, well, you know what the Swiss regulatory frameworks look like. Even countries like the UAE and frankly, even South Africa is getting ahead of the United States.
Very interesting perspective. And you touched upon something, regulation. There is an issue and an open dispute between you and the SEC on your crypto coin, the XRP, whether that is a security or not. And I know that a lot of people are really waiting, and really the outcome is very important. What is your take on it? Where do you stand? What do you see the issues being there?
Yeah. Well, so first of all, it is very important, not just for Ripple, but really for the whole crypto industry. You know, the US is the largest economy in the world. Certainly, we want crypto to thrive as it is in other countries in the United States. The United States Securities and Exchange Commission has taken the position that Ripple's sales of XRP constitute an unregistered security sale. And it gets into this very nuanced legal definition of what is a security. We use XRP as a currency. We use it for cross-border settlement. It doesn't give you any rights or title or governance of Ripple. In fact, it's an open source technology that it's hard to think about. So if XRP is a security, it's a security of what company? Who should file the registration statement? If it's an open, should Ripple do that? I mean, the other frustrating part, two kind of just anecdotes on this. One, the only country on the planet, and we operate in 50 plus countries. The only country on the planet that has alleged that XRP is a security is the United States, which is odd when Ripple's been profitable. We pay taxes in the United States. I'm a U.S. taxpayer, and it's just kind of like, wow, this is frankly, it's the reason why we are doing more and more outside the United States, both from a hiring. Our second largest office is now London. Now, on the case itself, we think the law is actually clear, and we think the facts are on our side. We think the law is on our side. And so we're actually quite optimistic. The case has been going on for about 2 years. It's fully briefed in district court, federal district court, and Southern District. We expect closure within months. When the judge gets the case, you don't have a timeline. So the judge will take the amount of time the judge wants. But I'm pretty optimistic. I do think it's important for the whole industry, and I'm looking forward to closure.
We are all looking forward to closure, right? Absolutely. Thank you to Mike Cornwell, who brought that particular clip, Bragg Ironhouse and so on. Pretty educational and nice to hear those particular things. So we're going to get more into the comments just for a brief bit, and then we'll kick it back into more news coverage we have for you guys tonight. There's still quite a bit. Not that's going to be a long, drawn-out show, but I did wave goodbye to Miguel. It says, great job, brother, and good night to everyone. You're probably gone by now, but Miguel, thanks for dropping in. Welcome to Mrs. Michael April Cornwell. Says Filipino Mexiano. Yes, grazie signore. Even though that's Italian, not Filipino. But anyway, nice looking avatar, looking pretty nice there. I think you did your hair again, or is that a previous avatar from before? Let me check. Let me see here. I think I've seen that one before. That is a nice look for you. Looks pretty good. I'm sure Mr. Cornwell is very proud of that. Elia, yes sir. Yeah. Hello, Elia. Great things. Just sent one of your Jasmine videos to some newbies, man. I don't know. You probably don't talk like that. But anyway, yes. Thank you so much. I do appreciate that. That is very cool. Very cool. We are definitely standing out with the Jasmine community. I want to give a shout out to Zippy, who's a great content creator, and everybody who's covering Jasmine. I don't normally do this. I like this guy. Subscribe to him. His name is Crypto John. He does a very good job with his perspective of Jasmine. I would say go check him out if you haven't done so already. A lot of times, some of his coverage is from the inside of his car. Yeah, I really love what's going on with Jasmine. I also really appreciate how the community has embraced us, and it's been great. Quant, Jasmine, has really been the two that really helped us get things going. Also XLM, and some other ones, but yeah, those are the two standout ones. So thank you again. And guys, how about this? Let's welcome Elia. Consider Elia changing your avatar. Something speaks more about who you are, what you're about. Maybe you do like, a Jasmine avatar or whatever it is. Just will help us remember you a lot easier to have a picture or / avatar. But again, guys, let's welcome Elia Yisrael. All right. Cody Core says, so which should I get more of, XRP, XDC, or HBAR first? I'm going to be honest with you, Mr. Cody Core. I mean, it's not financial advice. Here's the thing. Which one are you looking to? Are you looking to get some money, like the quickest one? Because, I mean, let's face it, something big could happen here soon with XRP. XDC, on the other hand, is still very undervalued. And I feel as though there's something about that consolidation trading sideways for over 9 months at those particular levels. I'm not the only one. I didn't hop on the bandwagon. I didn't even know. Shout out to Richard Common Sense Crypto. I didn't know. He stated the same thing. He believes as though it's just like, wow, this thing's going to explode. Yeah, it literally. Who knows? It could be like maybe the beginning of April. I don't know. I'm not saying it's going to be that soon, but out of nowhere, I think that XDC will just pop out. It is due to explode. I'm going to put it that way. Maybe it's due to explode after some of the ISO implementation. Very well possible. I'm not a fortune teller, but I also base things off of when you look at some of those charts, and it's like literally, like I mentioned, 9 straight months roughly of like consistent sideways action. That thing is ready to blow up. Not to the point where it's going to be like, $10 in XDC or anything like that, but you should see some significant gains from where it's at. You guys saw a brief thing that happened with LCX. I missed out on LCX. It's the one that got away from me. I'm still looking to get into it, but you guys were into LCX like, 3 cents, maybe under. And then we saw it, go well past 10 cents. Right now it's at the 10-cent mark. We saw it go as high as 12, 13 cents, something like that, maybe higher. I look at that. I look at XTC like in that perspective. Something huge is going to happen for that. In regards to HBAR, they added more to the supply. Of course, we had a pullback. I can't really answer that for you, but I mean, I'll put it this way. If we are really, truly nearing, a judgment to wrap up the Ripple case, then me personally, I'm going with XRP. I mentioned that to Mike Cornwell. I was like, oh my gosh, I might have to just go all out with XRP. Yeah. Anyway, none of this is financial advice or anybody. Please do not sue my. All right. Mark Williams says, is there any truth in Circle pushing Ripple and XRP out of this space? I mean, I think there's numerous cases where there's truth in that, especially like when you connect the dots, if you will. But that's a good question. I'm sure some people will give you some of their 2 cents in regards to that. I just don't want to spend the whole rest of where we're at, 2 hours and 19 minutes, giving my outline. If you want to check out some recorded content, we talk about quite a bit. There's more than enough evidence to show that, in my opinion. I do appreciate the question. Mark William, I haven't seen you here before. Maybe I have. Again, also consider changing your avatar so it speaks more about who you are, what you're about. And then that way we could remember you. Let's welcome Mark William, everybody. All right, let's go further down. Mr. Shagans is in the house. Mr. DS, good morning from where. Yes, absolutely. I believe from the UK, if I'm not mistaken. And Sinbad 909 is in the house, says peace. Good to have you here, Sinbad. All right. Elias says, I'm aware of him. Also, KIR Finance is a solid 37-minute breakdown. Yeah, we shared some of his particular news earlier in regards to squashing some of the misinformation / FUD. He did a very good job. I'm glad that somebody else follows him as well. Just GS states to Cody Core, all of the above, not financial advice. Yeah, we have to say it, guys, because you never know. There might be somebody who's just like, well, Maximus told me to go out and buy, 10 million Jasmine. No, I didn't. I didn't tell you to do that. Although 10 million Jasmine would be pretty impressive to have. Anyway. All right, Legrand Commission states, Max, I just want to say that you have lost the touch on how to pronounce my name like in the old days. I'm just kidding. I'll try to get better on it, Mr. Legrand Commission. Oui, oui, merci beaucoup. This is the crypto channel you were looking for. It looks so good to me. Go to ctnnetwork.net and sign up for, the thing to DM Maximus. All right. Yeah, I kind of messed it up. Some of you guys are in here like, I have no idea what is going on. Drugs are bad. Okay. Yeah. All right. It's some old things that we used to do. So if you're new, like if you're Cash Cats or somebody, probably like, I have no idea what Maximus is doing, but it's all right. Still love the show. Sinbad 909, LCX will go boom with tokenization of the Liechtenstein exchange. Yes. All right. GS Legrand, LOL Espanol, que no. All right. Yes, he definitely is. Blamos Espanol. All right. John Francis, welcome. Actually, I'll read this double cheeseburger. Huh. Interesting. All right, John Francis, welcome. Add a contest. First person to predict date when XLM hits $1 will win a KM jackpot. Pool subscribers pitch in. Interesting. That will be really hard. Everybody has XRP predictions, but not a lot of people have XLM. So that's a good point. I like that. Let me see. I do see the super chat. Salamander, I'm just going to read these two real quick before I get to yours. Cody Core says, well, I want more of 3, but the funds are lacking. Yeah, I hear you on that, man. My main thing is I would stack way more hospital bills up to what, man. Since October, it's just horrible. All right, Sinbad 909. I've been liking Jasmine. Excuse me. I've been liking Jasmine for over a year. It's a sleeper. Very cool. All right, Salamander with a $2 super chat. Wow, Legrand Commission is back. Wowzers. Yeah, I know, right? Like, but he says he's always been here. He's been like the comic, the shadow knows. Who knows? The shadow knows. Legrand Commission knows. But yes, oui, merci beaucoup. Legrand Commission is back into his house. All right. Yes, you like that. Yes. Thank you very much. Might have to get myself a beret just for you, Legrand, and welcome people. I'll be like, welcome to Crypto Talk Now. Larry is not on this show right now, but here I am. He is with the Rock Lady. Special guest star, Mr. Legrand Commission. Oui, right? Something like that. All right. Having fun, right? Right. Mr. Crypto McDizzle, for Shizzle Manizzle, faux show. Says Salamander, how you like that XTC news? Oh, good job on taking heed no long ago. He doesn't really talk. Why am I trying to make Michael Cornwell sound like the Duke? That doesn't make no sense either. All right. Long term, baby. XTC, yes. Salamander's like, if you heard me where I said, I feel as though like the pressure cooker effect, the explosion, I bet you're like, heck, yeah, like it needs to happen. It will happen. It's going to happen. Or otherwise you wouldn't have bought over 1 million of them. So you already know. Salamander knows the dealio when it comes to XTC. All right. You may be thinking, if you're just connecting, is this show going to wrap up? Is it over? It is not over. Give me just a second. All right. So we're going to kick it into some more coverage that we have for you. And this time around, it is LCX, the Liechtenstein Exchange. Yes. Jawohl, Oberst. So, guten Tag. Welcome to Crypto Talk Now. My name is Maximilian. This is the Liechtenstein Exchange information you're looking for. Lionel Richie. All right, so here we go. And here it is. The milestone update. A lot of times you do need to give credit where credit is due. Comes straight from LCX, the official LCX, with 114,000 followers. Oh, yeah. Milestone update. LCX is delighted to share that the LCX token has reached the mark of, listen to this, 18,000 token holders. Yeah, let's go. I know it ain't as much as like Shiba Inu or something like that, but man, so what? Why? Because LCX is a token of utility that connects users to the Liechtenstein ecosystem. Buy LCX from the exchange.lcx.com/trade/LCX_EUR. And how do we know that it reached it? Here it is from CMC. This is, of course, just, a clip from there. You do see it reach past actually 18,000. I like this particular comment from QNT 2025 Maxi. He states, small milestone in the big picture, should reach 100,000 in 2023 and 1 million in 2024. Exponential growth. That's a great statement, because you know what? We still have a lot of 2023 left. It could very well do that. All right, a little bit more in regards to our particular coverage. I want to show you guys this. And it is from this particular person. It's an outline. It's going to talk about a few things like HBAR. I think a little bit of maybe some of the other ones tagged here. But yeah, we're going to play this. And if anything, listen to some of the key things he mentions. This is a pretty interesting video. And then we'll come back and then we'll kick it back in the comments for just a brief bit and then get more back into some of the other news that we have for you tonight. Thanks for joining us. Smash the like button and please sign up for ctnnetwork.net where you can participate in tomorrow's interesting but fun game show called Cryptivia, created by yours truly, Mr. Maximus. All right, here we go.
Here's what's really going on behind the scenes with crypto. Goldman Sachs still open to crypto hires amid massive 3,200 staff cut. The bank remains hugely positive on exploring blockchain applications, not worried about regulation, trimming legacy financial services, investing in the future of financial services. Visa says it's not slowing down plans for crypto products. The payment giant still wants to grow its digital asset department. Not worried about regulation, investing in the future of financial services. UAE Emirate to launch Free Zone for digital and virtual asset firms. Joining the race for global crypto adoption. Every country wants to be a powerhouse in it. They're trying to attract these companies into their jurisdictions and take the lead. That's why we stay on top of these assets. Ripio app, a crypto pioneer in Latin America with 7 million plus users, is integrating with the Polygon network. Another massive partnership for Polygon. It's almost like every single day we see one of these. Metaverse Fashion Week 2.0 lineup revealed with a global first from Adidas. Guess where Metaverse Fashion Week is going to be? It's going to be in Decentraland, another massive company adopting Decentraland, using it as a marketing tool. 0x launches TX Relay API in beta with Robinhood Wallet as first partner. 0x is the ZRX token, which powers Coinbase's backend. Well, they just partnered up with Robinhood, another massive partnership for ZRX. Quant now supports Avalanche. We are announcing our connectivity to the Avalanche blockchain via a new release of our Overledger platform. The Quant interoperable network continues to grow. Here's an update from Hedera Hashgraph. The Hashgraph Association partners with Orange to launch accelerator program in Morocco. Orange had over 40 billion euros of revenue last year. They're a telecommunications company investing with Hedera Hashgraph in crypto solutions. Hashgraph will put 100 million euros into the project to support startups and entrepreneurs. Other than funding, the partnership will promote education and innovation in emerging technologies.
Think about what you just said. 100 million. Yeah, Hashgraph's we're just going to throw in 100 million euros into this particular project. Yeah, it's nothing. It's nothing at all for the betterment of, crypto adoption and helping people with the grants and so on. And we talked a little bit about the whole thing with Hashgraph in regards to the grants. Hopefully you guys remember. Gonna read this real quick. And that is people saying hello to John Francis. Thank you for being here, Mr. John Francis. Yes, I do remember you said it was long term. It should be long term because I mean, why would we want to cash out at XDC just because it goes to 10 cents? Not me. But you know, people gotta do what they gotta do. Not financial advice, right? Calvin, welcome. Glad to have you here. He says it's not over. It is not over. No. Sinbad says ha 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 or ja ja ja. I think it's ha 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 because yeah, in Espanol. My bad. All right. Crypto McDizzle for Shizzle Manizzle for show. He says you got any LCX, Mr. Alex. I think he's referring to LeBron. Pulse Unity, your number one brand in crypto. Just joined CTN Network. Cool site. Well, thanks, man. That puts a smile on all our faces. Thank you very much. Hopefully you can come back tomorrow for the game show and you could bring your A game and maybe you'll win individually or maybe your team will win, whatever the case be. You know, we'll let you guys know. The teams, I think, have to have a minimum of 3 people per team. We also realize that not like right now there's 31 people watching, right? Let's say it was 30. So out of 30, you're just like that. We lost people anyway. So like, you know, not everybody who's watching is going to participate. I mean, that's a given. So we are going to try to have even teams for the most part. So it'd be something like, you know, like Daniel Gayton's got at least 4 or 5 people on his team, and then the rest of the guys and so on. And then of course there's just, let's face it. I mean, there's people going to be like, we realize that some people just listen to the show. Maybe they're driving down the road. I mean, you're not going to be interacting and playing on a game show with your phone if you're trying to focus on the road. Anyway, Sinbad says probably a good idea to stack Poly. Yes. That ZKEVM coming out at the end of the month is that's the reason why Polygon is my number 3 or part of my top 3 to just go all out on, because the price could definitely go towards the upside and it's due to happen. So I'm looking at some of those particular ones: Polygon, Filecoin, and Stratos for a power swap. Legrand says ACS is up 135% today. There's always money to be made outside the top 20 cryptos. Yes, very true. Very, very true. And he says, no, really? To Mike. All right, says LeBron. Sinbad, AI Metis is a good project. Huh. All right. Well, let's know more about why you feel that it is. Haven't heard of that particular one. There's like over 22,000 cryptos, but thank you for that. We will jump back into the news coverage. We have some more for you. Thanks for joining us here tonight. Like I mentioned, we're going to get into the Casper news. So if you're just tuning in and you're wondering, like, is he going to talk about Casper? He has a TAGE. That darn Maximus, man, he takes all this crap, but he doesn't talk about it. The heck I don't. Everything that you see tagged has news coverage. Hence why we extend the coverage. How cool is that? So smash that like if you haven't done so already. And if anything, consider joining our community at ctnnetwork.net. This is the crypto news network you're looking for. And here is why we want you to go here, because for one, it is a cool site. And on top of that, you can DM me, just like I was talking to Mr. Abby Omar, aka Ran, you still here? What's up, man? Yeah, you know what I mean? And it doesn't cost you anything. And on top of that, you can sign up with Gmail, Facebook, whatever, right? If you don't want to do your email, but if you want to do email, you can. As you see, there's Mr. Crypto Smith. On top of that, like you can go to where it says community. And when you do that, you also see that we have the app. So it says join CTN Network on Spaces by Wix. You can go over there if you want to use it with your phone. Keep in mind that it's still a work in progress in regards to that. And if anything, here's Miguel. He posted something in general discussion, right? He said, can you see how early we are in cryptocurrencies? Let's go ahead and click on that real quick. And, just share whatever you feel like sharing and so on. We're trying to get things worked out in regards to the forums and so on. But I'm glad that some people are taking advantage of it, like Mr. Miguel. I'm gonna hit a like. But yeah, you can hop on over there, and then if anything, if you're not a person that's into Twitter, again, you can send me a DM or other people of the community and so on, which is cool. On top of that, in the future, I forgot to do it today. I apologize. Where it says, if you go to the main page, excuse me, I'm going to refresh that real quick. So, what's going on? Am I losing my connection? Hopefully I'm still with you guys. There we go. Okay, I was kind of wondering there. I was like, am I losing my connection? So the neat thing is this. Let's say you want to go to, you want to call in like a traditional radio show. You can, at the first part of the top of the hour, right after the show starts, to like the top of the hour, roughly, I don't know, 15 minutes or something like that. If you click on this green button, like I'll show you real quick, it says, welcome. Thank you for calling the Crypto Talk Now live show. This is Larry. Just a moment. Your call will be connected to me. You prepare your question or whatever. You could actually have a discussion, whether it's just with audio or video. And then you could actually come on just like where you see me right now, and you could talk and engage with the community that way. All right. So check it out, ctnnetwork.net. All right. Let's go further down. Agreed, Legrand. And Simba says it's a medical health project. Oh, okay, so AI Metis is a medical health project by two guys working with medical systems across Europe and the Arab states. The token pumps almost every weekend. Last weekend, it was up 55%. Wow, not bad. They also have a staking program, 10% APY. Pretty cool, man. Pretty cool. All right. So thanks for sharing that. I will show you guys the Casper news. So let's jump into that. So here is that. And it states financial contracts built on Casper. Shout out to this guy, Kevin Cage. I believe I'm following him. I am. So he says there is more to crypto and the current financial system than just Swift ISO messages, right? Well, no kidding. Remember WM Data Service, which is central authority and data provider for the global financial market? Well, some of us might know about that. Some of us might not. They are partnered with Nucleus Finance to leverage tokenization as a service, and they're also built on Casper. Here's a BIS document in regards to that. I believe that's from the Bank of International Settlements. I'll pull that up real quick. And of course, you want to nerd it out. This dates all the way back to March 2003 of a glossary of the terms used in payments and settlement systems if you decide that you want to go the geek route. Now, if you don't want to go geek route, you just want to stay with me on the news coverage. My bad. I meant to share that with you real quick. So this is what I was talking about. Right. I didn't share it at that time. But yeah, it's just a PDF back to 2003. No big deal. So back to what we're talking about. There are many types of contracts that will be leveraging DLT in the future: derivatives, cash clearing, central counterparty, closeouts, current exposure, exchange traded derivative, on and on, right? But straight from Casper yesterday, check this out. We'll pull that up. They believe the Actus, remember we talked about this, I think yesterday or the day before, they believe that the Actus standard could bring about a true revolution in the future of finance. Algorithmic contract types, unified standards. Actus is a computational algorithmic standard for describing financial contracts and their cash flows over time. In regards to this a little bit more, they are bringing together economists and financial engineers in Zurich, Switzerland, committed to improving the integrity of the global financial system. And this is actually going to be on March 9th at 7 p.m. CET. Again, use Google to decipher the time zone if you're going to participate in this. You can register to learn more. Let's blow this up. And I don't know if I was able to share that last one, but anyway, here it is, Actis Zurich monthly 02, like it says. And here's the details. So the second Actis Zurich event will bring together a group of economists and financial engineers committed to improving integrity of the global financial system. 2 presentations will be given. If you're wondering about this and you want to participate, it's going to have a remote presentation upon the new contract types being, or I should say, currently being designed by Actis Standards Development Working Group. And also there's going to be an in-person presentation upon the application of formal verification and zero knowledge cryptography. Wow. To the problem of Actis algorithm execution. And of course, if you want to see what the URL is, you go to meetup.com/Actis and you could maybe participate in that. Pretty cool stuff. I'm going to jump back into this. Do a stop share. But yeah, that's it in regards to Casper. Glad to share that with you guys. Got to kick it back into the comments for a brief bit. But if anything, I think we have a little bit more coverage for you. Yeah, last bit will be Cypherium. Let's get into the comments right now. Yeah, no problem, man. Right back at you. Calvin says, hey Tim, what a journey it's been. I appreciate you guys for discussion related to projects I wasn't aware of. And Pulse Unity, your number 1 brand in crypto, says it's snowing in the UK. Must be kind of cozy. Hopefully you're nice and warm though. Tim Shea says, glad to hear it, Calvin. And Sinbad 909, AI Metis was on Binance Smart Chain but moved over to Polygon Chain a few weeks ago. Oh, that's cool. Seems like you're up to date with what you have. So you're personally invested in AI Metis, it sounds like. All right. So I'm going to share the Cypherium news for you guys. Let's jump right into that. So here you go. And I love this statement. And I have seen this particular lady on the morning show with the 3T Warriors Academy with like Abs and Gonzo and Johnny Crypto and so on, right? It's Jenna X. She says, who likes Cypherium, right? So this guy Web36 responds to her, and actually I'll give him a follow because he deserves it. So give me a second. So I am following him. He says Cypherium is the most decentralized and secure ISO blockchain with the most utility. Cypherium will be the new reserve currency, digital oil for new global financial system. I want to state this, all right? So people have stated, especially like with Jasmine, maybe with Filecoin, some of the other ones, right? When it comes to data specifically, they consider that digital oil. So I thought that was kind of interesting to also see Sky Guo basically state that he feels as though digital oil for a new global financial system, like what you see here, that Cypherium will be the new reserve currency. So it says all CBDC and DID or decentralized apps transactions require, listen to this, guys, this is so bullish to even say this, Cypherium for a gas fee. How many projects have we talked about where this is going to be used for gas fee? I mean, let's face it, you want to talk about the originator for gas fees, you got to think about Ethereum, right? We hate getting those gas fees. It costs so much. But if anything, every time that those gas fees were used, that was the utility kicking in. And of course, Bone with the Shiba Inu ecosystem, right? Bone is supposed to be used for Shibarium. That's why a lot of people feel as though, like, man, Bone's going to go to the moon. But how about this for Cypherium? It's not. Is it really apples and oranges, or is it a perfect example that, man, combined with what you see here, it's going to be used for the gas fee for all CBDC, DID, or decentralized apps. CPH for the gas fee. Combine that with, the FedNow payments. I honestly think that this is why so many people were so like, you got to look more into Cypherium. And if anything, you can't just dismiss Cypherium. And it has been dismissed. Let's face it. Like, I guess even we are guilty of it, up until a few months ago. I didn't even get into Cypherium if it wasn't for, seeing that on Sean the Crypto Smith's video that he showed that Cypherium is an official ISO 222 compliant crypto. And then, of course, the icing on the cake was with the FedNow payment service, right? Like, yeah, we understand the whole thing of NDAs, but man, I mean, everything outlined for them, it's just, I can't. I'm so glad I got into it. And at these particular price levels, that's under 4 cents now, so it's in the threes. Talking about the power of the DCA, right? Dollar cost average. We're gonna blow this up. So look at this. Sky says, and he's the CEO of Cypherium. Their roadmap is simple. Build DID infrastructure with governments around the world. Enable regulated DeFi on-chain. Integrate CBDC with Cypherium's mainnet and wallet. Number 4, become world reserve currency. Well, even if they're not the one and they're just part of like many others who still it's the utility being utilized. That's my key thing. How about this? Many believe that DID is the first Web3 killer app. Cypherium has already successfully built its DID with Randstad and Google Cloud. Currently, we are working with central banks and on integrating DID with the digital wallets of billions of users in the world. Sky has more in regards to this, and he posted this not that long ago. Some people feel as though this is like 2 years ago. No, it's not. It says, just like the dollar's value is backed by petroleum, CPH's value is backed by the CBDC and digital assets. It is going to connect. That's some pretty powerful statements, guys. I'm being honest. On top of that, once CBDCs are deployed on Cypherium, central banks will need to own Cypherium to carry out transactions, making CPH the de facto global reserve currency. Maybe that's why he feels as though it's not just like part of the mix. It is the one. We could agree to disagree. But my thing is this. I didn't want to sit on the sidelines and be like, oh God, what if this happens? That's why I jumped into Cypherium. A few of the things I mentioned earlier, and this just solidifies it even that much more. So anyway, I believe this might be the last part of what we have for you guys tonight. I think it is. Actually, no, it is. We got one last one. Let me see what time we got. Oh man, almost going 3 hours into the show. Yeah, I'm gonna do one last one and read some more. And it says 60 likes. Nice. Tim Shea. Yes, let's talk. Yes, talk CPH. Been stacking it lately. Curious is deal with FedNow. And Calvin says something. So Tim Shea. So I promised Brian Dowie, even if he's not here, I'm just gonna do it anyway. And you can just watch it on the record. So that's right. So let's jump into that. Here is a brief introduction. Hold on a second. Adjust that earpiece. So here is a brief introduction to Velo. And you may be wondering like, what is that? I don't know what that is. Really? Don't know what that is? I expect you to know about all 22,000 plus crypto. Shame on you. Don't you know that crypto content creators know everything there is to know about every single crypto project known to man, from memes to ISOs to the quantum financial system to Web3 to AI to NFTs? What is this blasphemy? All right, let's get really into it. So I'm going to share this, and this, of course, first comes from CMC. You may be familiar with CeeLo. I don't know, but whatever the case is, here it is. And, it's sitting at 0.006606. It's had its moments. It's currently ranked 503. It is part of the Binance Smart Chain, right? It does have a confirmed market cap of 32,757,000. If you're wondering about the supply, you should be wondering about the supply. Only 17% of it is currently in that circulating supply. They do have a max supply of 30 billion with a total supply of slightly under 24 billion. All right. So before we get more further into it, let's see what markets you can get it on. So as far as centralized, you can get it on KuCoin. Another one is, I'm stating the standout ones for us in the United States. So KuCoin, crypto.com, And of course, some of these other ones like OKX. I believe OKX isn't really US friendly. But anyway, yeah, I would go with either KuCoin or definitely crypto.com, right? I use both of those exchanges. As far as decentralized, let's take a look. You can get it off of 3 particular decentralized exchanges. You get it from Stellar Term. You get it from Open Ocean. Okay. All right. So let's jump over to their particular site. And here it is. If you're wondering what Velo is about, they are what it says right here. It says supercharge money with velocity, right? So connecting businesses and individuals with a global pool of funds to supercharge. Listen to supercharge, like bust out that Hemi, right? To the velocity of money through seamless financial services powered by their Web3 ecosystem. Of course, it says to learn more. Let's do just that. And again, like anything, if you're serious about this or you're already into it, if you haven't done so already, please check out their white paper. And if you don't have time for a white paper, you owe yourself to at least read the white paper if there is one. All right. So it says not Web3, but Web3 Plus. Quantum, a one-stop lightning speed remittance network, power up traditional financial networks with a blockchain-enabled remittance superhighway. That sounds interesting itself. So here at CTN, we do cover about roughly the top 20 from the quantum financial system. Keep in mind, most of those are ISO 222 related, XRP, XLM, Quant, XDC. But there's also ones that are not ISO 222, right? Such as Polygon, for instance. There's other ones on that particular list. Cello. There's the ones that are built on Stellar, like with Stronghold and so on, right? But this is interesting because it says Quantum connects our trusted partners, businesses vetted and approved to join the network to each other. This allows each partner to access the benefits and services across the entire Velo ecosystem and provides lower fees, faster transactions, and broader coverage to all users. So, literally think about it, right? It's a lightning speed super highway for Web3. That should be one of your key takeaways so far. Let's go a little bit more into this specifically. So they have this multi-chain super DEX. We're going to take a look at that for a minute. It says the universe is a super DEX that allows users to connect a decentralized self-custodian wallet to maintain control of their funds and reduce third-party risks. Let's face it, we definitely need more of that. Meanwhile, it also supports a centralized trading engine and order matching system to perform high frequency trading of any asset at a low fee. Got to keep the prices down. Otherwise, why even use some of these, lower market cap ones like this, right? So it says your keys, your crypto. We know about this. Easily move funds anytime you please. That's good. People want to be able to have quick, easy access without being penalized for where they put it on. Hence why some people, not all of them, right? Yeah, not your keys, not your crypto, but at the same time, if you're doing trading quite often, right, it is kind of a pain to take it out of cold storage. That's a thing. Hence why Arculus, right, has made this statement of why they feel as though they are a power player that brings a different layer of utility for a underrepresented community of people who simply want the ease of access, if you will. And I get it. They don't cover every crypto out there, but it's nice to see that they recognize that you need to be able to easily move your funds anytime you please. And I couldn't agree more. All right. So Nova Chain. It's an affordable universal blockchain network interconnecting Web3 ecosystem with an EVM compatible blockchain. Nova Chain is an EVM compatible blockchain and the backbone of their Web3 ecosystem that facilitates the on and off ramp partners to connect their services with Web3 applications. Now, if you're wondering about this, it says that Nova is an enabler of Quantum's interconnectivity with various financial systems and provides frictionless transactions for all users on that particular network. On top of that, Orbit is a crypto payment super app. Orbit is a simple to use mobile application that provides a simple scan and go model for P2P payments. That's cool. Even before reading this, I was thinking, all right, if it's scan and go, they got to have a QR code. Boom, there it is. There's your answer. How you use a particular common QR code system. Your wallet connects to your assets in the Velo ecosystem and allows you to quickly transfer funds for various purposes. And I imagine each time per asset, right? There's multiple assets. I imagine they give you a different type of QR code per asset. That simply makes sense. All right, last but not least, Warp, a multi-network cross-chain bridge, freely move assets across blockchain networks with their multi-chain bridge. Warp is a multi-chain bridge that connects blockchain networks. Warp supports Binance Smart Chain and even Stellar at launch. That's really cool. So both Stellar and Binance Smart Chain with Ethereum and several other major chains supporting with support of that coming soon. That's really, really cool, because once they get more and more of those particular chains, that's more volume leads to more, probably more transactions. Users can easily move assets into and out of the ecosystem to suit their needs. Very, very cool. I'll read these last three, and then we'll show you guys just a little bit of how their community is doing. So it says, formless with fractional transactions, value exchange takes many forms: money you hold in your hand, gold that you mine from the ground, or equity in the company in the form of shares or tokens. Sounds all good, right? But as far as their utility, their Web3 plus ecosystem provides a landscape where all assets are formless and can be transacted against their real world of value. You won't need to own a whole of something to transact or trade, and can fractionalize your investments to suit your needs. This right there, that totally makes sense why they have Stellar to be part of this. How do we know that? Because Stellar is a perfect example of, you could be living in a third world country, in Nigeria, for instance, and you don't want to see your native homeland currency diminish in value. When you see this particular statement that states that their Web3 ecosystem provides a landscape where all assets are formless and can be transacted against their real world of value, in which you don't need to own a whole of something like a whole Bitcoin or a whole whatever type of currency to trade or fractionalize your investments into, suit your needs. That's powerful in itself. So to me, that right there stands out of why they have Stellar part of the particular mix. They're also borderless with financial inclusivity. I can't even pronounce that right now. Excuse me. We are building an ecosystem for the borderless transfer of currency and assets to anyone on the network. That means it's frictionless, right? So it provides an innovative suite of financial products and services that make it possible for users to transfer, invest, borrow, or lend funds across the globe. Of course, it's limitless, like I also said, frictionless, right? Good to see these particular things. They have used Velo for not just individuals, but small businesses, traders, token issuers. Remember, we're always talking about, the tokenization of this project, that project, and so on, and even for institutions. So even on the surface, guys, I'm being flat out honest here. They are a Web3 digital asset super highway infrastructure. I know it sounds like they have the infrastructure for that, right? So it's like a Web3 plus super highway that has the infrastructure for not just the retail market, but like I mentioned, for individuals, small businesses, somebody like LCX, token issuers, traders, come on, institutions. So they hit all these particular bases. Let's check out their community portal real quick. So hold on a second. Maybe I can just get to it. There we go. Twitter. So here's their community portal. They do have 46,000, almost 47,000 followers. Like it says, next generation financial protocol for businesses. Looks like they are active here. They made a post yesterday. They even have pinned tweets. So I'll give you guys a quick news update, right? Even though this was a quick intro. They were excited to get a listing on BetGet Global. I guess that was one of the few markets I showed you earlier. They got their particular BEP20, from Binance Smart Chain on BitGet in the Innovation Zone program for spot trading on the 9th of March, with 6 million VLO up for grabs. You can check out their tweet for more details, which is cool to see a listing. They have a latest video, which was 3 days posted before that. It's called Velo's Universe Community Launch Program, which is in closed beta, how to get Universe UID. Let me see if they have anything else that's like really stands out here. So how about this? Nova FOSS IP error update. Small percentage of people still receive the IP block error. They're trying to keep people informed, but I think that's about it in regards to Velo. Check them out if you want to do so. Take more of your own deep dive. Glad to be able to do this for a community member, a great community member, who is Mr. Brian Dowie, who wanted me to take more of a look into Velo. We'll continuously try to do the brief intros and see how the community responds to that. And then dependent on that, of course, just like with crypto, if it meets that supply and demand, we'll try to cover it more. Because let's face it, we got a big grocery list of ones that we're into. All right. So let's see here. Crypto blankety blank live again. All right. Welcome, Michael Santiago. And Peter Velasquez says, hey, anyone else claim their ALBT? I see my new tokens in my trust wallet, but there's no value. Anyone know why? So let me answer that real quick. I did an update, and I did receive my ALBT V2, aka the Nexera NXRA token. In regards to that specifically, how it worked was I got them into my main account on KuCoin, and then from there they had no value, and then it took time for them to get their particular value. So they had no value while it showed the ALBT token also listed there, and then after they end up getting value, right? They took away the original ALBT, and I just have the Nexera token there. So it might be a similar type of situation, but whatever the case be, look more into that, because my particular update was in regards to KuCoin, but that's basically what happened. So you might need just to wait it out, or just simply try to contact them and get more of an update in regards to that. All right, so River says, hey everyone, welcome River. You like Corium? I'm not personally into Corium. I have nothing against it. We did a brief intro. I think Larry did. I know that Tim Shea, I think, is into Corium. I think also maybe who else is it? Sean the Crypto Smith as well. I haven't seen anything bad about it, but I can't give you a lot of information on something like that because I just haven't done more of my own research in regards to Corium. Selmo Flood is in the house. He says, fellas, good to have you here, Selmo. We're about to wrap up the show, actually, but I really do appreciate you being here, Selmo. Hope things are all well with you. All right. Yeah. Let's go further down. Sinbad says, same here. Uphold has it locked at 10 cents. Huh. All right. Tim Shea says hello to Peter. And Peter Velasquez says, so basically waiting for updates. Don't count it as a loss. Just asking because I went through this with Saitama when they did the V2 upgrade tokens, but they're no value. That was Coinbase. Well, also keep in mind, this is a huge difference. You're talking about a standout quality project of ALBT, which, if I'm not mistaken, was a top 100 by market cap project at one point. Those projects were not. Yes, I understand that Saitama probably could have been in the top 100 at one point if CMC would have given him a proper listing. There is that, so I will give that. And was it the other one you're mentioning? So yeah, tokens but no value. Yeah, I mean, this is, you're talking about standout quality utility projects compared to something like meme coin projects like Saitama. Don't get me wrong, I'm still invested in Saitama. I still hold this. I guess I'll be holding on for dear life forever with that, because I can't remember if I put $4,000 or maybe it was close to $4,000. It was either 3,500 or $4,000. Maybe with gas fees is $4,000 into Saitama. So yeah, I'm fully aware how bad V2 sucked, but I'll say this much. They went about how you do a V2 a lot better than some of these other projects, whether it's Shinja or some of these other ones, or especially, come on, Clifford Inu garbage. This is Alliance block, so this is a way better, higher quality project. Anyway, there's nothing wrong with you asking. Don't be sorry for asking. It's totally fine. But that's honestly what happened with mine on KuCoin. It didn't have a value. It was listed there. I just simply patiently waited it out because that's what it said. It said it was going to take some time. Yeah, I was kind of getting a little bit impatient. And then some of our community members messaged me and said, hey, Max, guess what? I just got mine. And it does have a value. And I was like, oh, cool. I checked it. It did. did a video about it. You could look more into it, but it's more focused on the KuCoin update than it is towards people like yourself who has it on their Trust Wallet. All right. Sibad says sometimes it's when CMC updates the coin on their listing and then the price shows up. All right. Peter Velasquez says the Saitama one is actually a gas scam. Yeah, I wouldn't disagree with you. I'm not a fan of it anymore. If we get into all-time highs, that somehow, some way, I can basically salvage some kind of profit out of that, I am going to wash my hands completely with Saitama and be the hell away from it forever. I don't care what they promise. I'll never get back into it again. And I think I'm not the only one that feels that way. Definitely agree. I'm a holder too, literally sold. Nothing survived last year thanks to your channel and others. Definitely agree. I'm a holder too, literally sold nothing. Survived last year thanks to your channel. And oh, okay. So you're saying, thank you for that. Just buy small amounts every week. Well, appreciate that, Peter Velasquez. Consider changing your avatar. Something speaks more about who you are and what you're about. We appreciate it. Also, check out our site, ctnnetwork.net. It's free, won't cost you anything. And if you do happen to come back tomorrow, I'm going to have the Cryptivia newly introduced game show. All you guys can participate in it, but you do need to sign up on our website. And I'll show it to you guys one more time. It's free. Doesn't cost you a single thing. Here it is. And if you go over here and on the home page, you will see the creators, community, CTN Studios, members, and so on. In fact, we'll click on community real quick. Has all these particular features. You can, if you want to get, for instance, the web-based version, or not the web-based version. You don't want to use the web-based version. You don't have to. You use the actual app. And after you do so and so on, when you're put on a team, you need to be able to communicate with your team or your team captain, like Daniel Gayton, Waddy, Sean, Larry, right? You would do so right here. So let's say like, Rayan is on your team or something. Be like, yo, I think it's Shiba Inu. That is the answer. Well, something like that. You're able to communicate. So team members need to be able to communicate with each other on the actual app or on the website, not through global chat, unless you're not participating in the show or in the game. But we're going to have some rules outlined. But yeah, check it out. Don't cost you nothing. We have forums, you name it. So check it out, ctnnetwork.net. All right. I'm going to read a few more comments, and then I'm going to end the show here soon because we're well over 3 hours and 8 minutes. It's been a long show, but it's okay. Crypto Unity says you're number one brand in crypto. Thank you for the show. Have a great rest of day, everyone. If you get a chance, check us out. Or see you again soon. Okay. Yeah. We'll definitely have to check you guys out and so on. So drop your YouTube or whatever it is, and we'll take a look at maybe next time you come in. I should say next time. Yeah, we will next time. So because I'm just trying to wrap up the show. Cordell Lewis says, what are your thoughts on Aleph Zero? I'm familiar with that. Morpheus Network. I think Morpheus Network is solid. Sologenic, I don't know as much about Sologenic. I'm aware of it. I know that Crypto Smith knows about it. Saucer Swap, Lattice. I did a intro for Lattice. Check it out in the recorded section of our channel. FET, AI, and Ocean Protocol, Moonbeam. WASPay, I believe it is, WTK, and XSP. A lot of those sound really good. I mean, XSwap is pretty good. I don't have a lot of thoughts on some of the other ones, but Lattice seems pretty solid. That particular platform / exchange. Yeah, I wouldn't speak against any of those particular ones. I would have to get more. I have to understand FET AI a little bit more on Ocean Protocol, but yeah, not too shabby. River says, watch your video that you did on BSV today. Huh? Yeah, that came out like maybe a week or two ago. Mainly did that one for Cool Cat Crypto. Anyway, Peter Velasquez says that looks dope. And well, thanks. The website, you like it? Thank you very much. Larry would be very pleased to hear that. I'm pleased with it too, but I know that really puts a smile on his face. Simad says he held Shinja You liked it until 10% glitch happened and they offered a 7% back, but holders had to pay each gas fees. That was my cue to dump it. Good thing you knew that then. My thing was, I think I put 1,000 into it. Saw it go to like original all-time highs. I think I made like a couple thousand with it. Then from there, got back in. Shame on me. And then if anything, what happened after that was I kept holding and holding and holding, and then now I think I'm at the break-even mark because I got back in. So one of those things, part of the crypto journey. Pierre Velasquez, Quant, my favorite token, then XRP. Very cool. So that tells me basically you probably found our channel from the Quant coverage. So, all right, guys, that's going to wrap it up. It's been a great show. I am not going to extend this anymore. I do need to get to the grocery store before they close here soon. But I do appreciate each and every one of you guys that are here tonight with us. And if anything, check out more of our recorded content, which is basically, let me see, right here. I'll show it real quick. And smash that like on your way out if you don't mind. Here's our recorded content. Here's the three new videos of the day. Nexera from ALBT V2. There's an update, right? So I give you guys my proof of it being in my that I got it from in my main account, right? I got it airdropped. I was talking about the bull run thesis part 6. I have actual data to back that up. It's not just emotions. It's about the accumulation phase. I still feel as though that in 2023 there is money to be made. No, I'm not stating that 2023 is all-time highs. No, that is not the case. But there's a difference between the start of a bull run and getting into like all-time highs, which, let's face it, most of us believe that could be like 2024, maybe 2025, and so on. And then today's quant update was in regards to, and shout out to the great Quant Papa. It is Vodafone Quant's over ledgers integrated SIM cards. So if you hold Quant, you got to check that out because Vodafone is literally the biggest name in Europe when it comes to their mobile network. Literally picture this. So remember Verizon back in mid to late 2000s, they had the biggest network at the time for 4G. I know we're in 5G now, but for 4G, remember that? And remember that one guy in the commercials, he'd always be like, hey, can you hear me now? Right? Verizon really stood out then. They don't stand out now. My point is this. Vodafone really stands out for Europe. You're going to want to learn more about why that is so significant. Check out that particular deep dive if you want to, right? We just provide you guys news and education here at CTN. And if anything, that's it. So thanks for watching. We will definitely see you guys back here tomorrow for the Cryptivia game show. And I'm looking forward to doing it. It's not going to be your traditional format of just news and so on. We'll be very interactive with the audience and so on. It's going to be a fun thing. And if anything, we all deserve to have a nice, different break format, if you will. But it should be a great show. Hopefully it's well received. Hopefully we can get some good numbers like we did yesterday. But anyway, I will read the last bit of this, and I honestly am going to end the show. So Sinbad says, "Get out, bruh. Cliff is sneaky. LOL." Yeah. Thanks for the good show. Thank you very much. Good night to you as well, Peter. Cordell Lewis, will HBAR be the best cryptocurrency? It'll be up there. It's my top 5. It's my number 5. All right. Tim Shea says, "Take care." Thank you so much, Tim Shea. HBAR or Algo? You got to make me pick one. I'm going to go with HBAR. I hold both, though. And then Cody Course says HBAR will rule them all. All right. Thanks again, everybody. Have a blessed day, night, depending on where you're at. We'll see you on the next one. I hope you guys come out tomorrow for Cryptivia. Take it easy.